Greetings and welcome to the next session of Blades in the Dark. As we hop back in, Kim did indeed mention that you guys are fairly close to your next tier upgrade. You're only 3 rep away.
So we need to do something that also gives us 3 rep.
3 rep is basically guaranteed.
Correct.
Okay.
Every time you do anything, you get 2 rep, plus 1 per tier, minus 1 if it's the lower tier. So if you hit up someone that's like super high, you get extra. If you are shooting under, you get nothing.
Can we cuddle up to one of our former job givers again?
Was there something you had in mind?
I mean, we did. What was that group called again that we fucked over royally?
Which one?
Probably more than one.
With the dad
Yeah.
who was in prison and 2 sons that were infighting.
Might have been the Bill
Can't remember
Hooks.
either.
Bill Hooks, yeah, that's it. Like, we could, like, destroy them entirely.
Aren't they kind of pretty much destroyed now?
Definitely
No,
not.
they went down the tier.
Oh.
I think they're now also tier 1, right?
Yes, they start off as tier 2.
And they are basically fractured in 2. Dad is probably pissed because he's still in prison and can't fix everything.
Mm-hmm. So there is obviously them. There are quite a few factions we've poked.
What about that lady at the gambling casino?
What about her?
The one I got my rooster from.
I thought we
think so, yeah.
also wanted to talk to her to gain a foothold for expanding our train into her area. Let's also do inner hunting grounds this time. That's a good idea.
Because you can expand your hunting ground, right?
I believe so, yes.
That's how.
Question. When you acquire turf, you can expand the scope of your crew's hunting grounds.
So what do we just want? Are we messing with people, or do we want to just get more money? How much more do we need?
We have 8, we need another 8. Unless, how much do you have on you?
Technically 7. Kim has 1 on there.
So we need a big job or 2 smaller jobs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm fine on stress this time.
Who did we previously buddy up to in the 6 hours? Because we screwed over the gray cloaks.
Correct?
With
But
the,
who'd we do it for?
I think it was the Circle of Flame.
Let's see if they need something done.
Or multiple somethings.
Or multiple somethings, yeah.
Alright, we can most definitely do that. That is over in 6 towers.
Also, there's a Chef Roselle there, Mr. Desmond. One of the best cooks in the city.
Oh no.
Of course I know her.
Yeah, he already knows.
I mean, we could probably do a favor for her, too.
I mean, what would I gain from that? That's the question. I can
Tips on-
possibly... I mean, we could start selling her the eggs for income, I guess, but...
Oh, that too. I mean, you could probably also learn how to really cook a good chicken. In fact, if we're gonna have a luxury train, then we should probably be able to cook on it or hire cooks to cook on it, right?
Yes, I mean, we would have to get a kitchen wagon first.
Maybe she knows where one is.
For now, I would probably focus on getting the gold. Like, if she can help with that, sure, but need that money.
Money, money, money.
Rob's
We
hands
do need
together.
all the money.
Money.
So we basically want to go see that old faction and just essentially see if they need anything.
I want to buddy up some more.
So you all head over to the Circle of Flame, and I think this is actually the faction you're the closest with, I believe. You guys have done the most work for them.
Yes.
Yeah, they're at 2. So they are technically considered friendly with you guys. You have indeed helped them quite a few times. You're fairly easily seen up to Lady Pendrin. And as the 3 of you ascend to her office, she offers the 3 of you a smile and says, I haven't seen you all. How have we been?
Oh, busy.
Climbing up the ranks.
Raises her eyebrows at that and says, Good, good. I hope you're all in good health.
Better than good health. Well, I give it a
Sobbing in the corner.
Most of us are, at least. Stress of the job now.
Understandable. What can I do for you all today?
We were wondering if you had something for us to do.
Oh, there's always something to do, Kim. Are we... Well, you seem extra eager today. Anything in particular you're looking for?
Preferably
to-
something with a high reward.
We're planning
Oh.
to expand and we're in need of wealth, I guess.
Aren't we all? Good to set your sight and your eyes on the future, though. You can always respect that. Fortunately for the 3 of you, yes, we do indeed have a little something that needs to be done. I assume the 3 of you aren't too adverse to risk?
It's fine. We'll be fine.
With proper planning, we can brace everything.
Risk might just be my middle name.
Of course, of course.
Wait, I thought it was Catherine.
What? No.
She laughs at that and says, while looking to Ogre for a brief moment, she kind of smiles and looks back to the rest of you. There was a certain someone that reached out to me fairly recently regarding the three of you, actually.
No, no,
Good
might
or
not be.
bad?
Good. Someone apparently that you have assisted. They're actually downstairs, and she kind of motions to one of the guards to go ahead and call this person up. And looking to the door, you guys see Richter walk through. He's the person that helped you guys, the one from the Deathland Scavengers.
Yes.
Oh. Hi, Richter.
He gives you a quick nod, and she then again looks to Ogre, and then looks to Richter. And you do know that while these two factions aren't necessarily friendly, the Deathland Scavengers in general, they go out, obviously, into the Deathlands and collect various artifacts. Lady Penderin's group is very, very much into artifacts. It's kind of their thing. So they have sort of a working relationship, if you will. And Richter looks over to you, Ogre, and says, "So, buddy, word on the street is you're interested. Looking to the Deathlands? Going out on your own?"
Not on my own.
"Well, going out with your group."
I mean, at some point, maybe.
Not anytime soon. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
We're working on other stuff right now, really.
Who's spreading that rumor?
He's kind of smirking while looking at you. Let's just say a few people in the marketplace might have a loose lip or two. Heard you're putting something together.
Ah, that
Uh-huh.
might be true.
We were originally planning on potentially going out there ourselves, but honestly, when we came into contact with your guys, we might have changed our minds about that. You seem more competent in that field. Of course, Ogre here is still working on his little trinket. It might be able to assist you in the future. Who knows?
Well, fortunately, we might be able to assist you in the now. We've discussed our little situation before. Our hunting ground, your hunting ground. We won't be stepping on any toes, of course. But, well, you see, I like you. Lady Penderin likes the three of you. And her and I currently have a deal. He looks to her and she looks back and kind of nods and says, "My men are a little busy at the moment, if you will. And there's something we've been setting our eyes on. And, well, the three of you are interested. It can form as somewhat of a test. See if you're up to the task. It won't be actually into the Deathlands themselves. More of a, well, I won't say lighter experience. It will be rough. As we do need money, yes."
Sure.
All right. And Mr. Ogre, I will say, if you are able to assist us properly, at least, and bring back the item that we require, well, we might be able to help you. There might be, let's just say, one or two bits of information you might not have that could help you finish up your little project faster. You catch my drift.
Interesting.
He nods at that, and Lady Penderin says, "Of course, this is all under the table. We'll need to keep relatively quiet about this. The item we need you to acquire, well, it will be going to me and my people. Seeing as we've dealt with various, sensitive subjects in the past, I don't see that really being a problem. It's just that Richter and his men are, as he mentioned, quite busy at the moment."
Nodding.
Both look to each other, and there's sort of a sly smile on both their faces. Not like, ooh, we got him, but just like, excellent. You said they were good. You said they were good for it, and they're both kind of giving each other a look like, awesome.
Got him.
And now they die. Yeah, precisely. So after she says that, she sort of motions to Richter and says, "Well, if you think you're suited for the job, Richter can fill you in. Of course, you'll return to me, and I will be paying you. Sound fair?"
Fair.
Excellent. And then she motions to Richter, and Richter looks to you guys and says, "Oh, we can discuss this elsewhere." And then he basically leads the three of you outside. Richter sort of brings you guys to a smoke shop that he is a fan of. And sitting in one of the back booths, you can tell that the seats around him have been cleared, so no one can really overhear our conversation. There is what some claim to be music playing in the background. Fortunately, it should drown out the conversation. He leans on the table, motions for one of the waiters to bring over some drinks for everybody and a large cigar for himself. He kind of lights up and kicks back and says, "I'm going to be blunt. This is not a simple job. It is relatively dangerous. But like I said, training, test for the three of you. of course, we are up to it, so shouldn't be too much of an issue, yeah?
Sounds easy enough.
Are you joining?
No, I will not be joining. In fact, I have to be leaving in approximately an hour.
Looks at Ghost Watch.
I have another meeting. This should be, well, for the three of you, and he looks to Ogre specifically with kind of a smile. I'm sure you guys can figure this out.
Quit looking at me. I don't like it when people look at me.
He smiles at that and kind of looks at the other two of you and says, well, I'll lay all my cards at the table. This is actually quite simple. Takes a quick sip. Says, there's a certain artifact, or, well, group of artifacts, depending on who's to be believed. We were told it was in a house, but upon doing a quick look through, of course the place is abandoned, claimed to be haunted, but we didn't find anything. This alleged artifact, this product, this item the Circle of Flame is looking for, well, it wasn't there. And like I mentioned, we unfortunately don't really have the time to look for it. So, knowing the three of you and your expertise at finding things and knowing your way around the back alleys of Duskwall, well, I'm trusting the three of you to find it.
I can show we can find whatever it is you're looking for.
He nods at that. And I will stress, this is indeed a test for the Deathlands. Rumors hold, and I do believe they are true, the place is haunted. Whatever apparition lies there will not be kind.
I mean,
I'll
Ogre
leave it to
does
the
want
both
some
of
more souls to play with.
He kind of puts his hands up and says, however you want to approach it is entirely up to you. Just make sure that you're cautious. Like I said, this will be dangerous, but it will pay well.
Okay.
Alrighty. And if that's it, he kind of whips out a pretty quick, small map. It is completely just jotted down in like charcoals and such. But you guys know approximately where this is. You've heard rumors of this house at some point in the past. It's sort of, we'll just say it's one of your usual houses on sale. Someone buys it. People move in. They move out like a week or two later. Repeat. The place is haunted. Sure it is. Someone else moves in. Repeat.
It's my old house.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought you were born in the Deathlands.
Don't worry about it.
Alright.
He turns the map to you guys, and on the bottom of it, there's a name written, Vale, V-A-L-E. We're tasking the three of you to enter the Vale estate and find this artifact. I'll be blunt, when you see it, you'll see it. Any questions?
So you went into this house and you found nothing?
I wouldn't say we found nothing. Well, I'll just put it this way. We spent some time looking around. We heard the place was guarded. There's very much a paranormal presence there, but nothing that, well, directly attacked us. We walked in with quite a few men. I don't know if the apparition itself is shy, if it's hiding somewhere in particular. I guess to kind of detail it out a bit, he pulls out another sheet really, really quickly, just jotted down. Two-story building. You can kind of see all the floors and rooms here. We just had someone walk through and do, like I said, a real rough sketch. But we weren't able to find anything. And, like I said, my men are busy. There's something in particular that's drawn our interest in the Deathlands, but we're trying to rub elbows with the lady. So, if you guys could help us, we can help you.
Sounds promising. We'll look into it.
Indeed.
So what exactly are we looking for, though?
It's definitely one of those when you see it, you'll see it. But it's claimed to be, unfortunately, a multitude of things. Someone claims it's a staff. Others claim it's a book. Those are two, well, I don't need to tell you, very different things. Maybe they're both there. I have no idea. Apparently, the Vale estate held on to, we'll just say, various occult items that they weren't necessarily supposed to have on them. My men might have, when the Vales mysteriously passed away, moved through their estate and taken what we thought, valuables. But apparently there's still something else there.
Are we free to enter, or are we going to have to break in?
Oh, my men just walked on in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put it this way. Nobody wants to enter that house. They attempted to sell it. They gave up about a month later.
Well, ghosts tend to do that.
Makes sense.
Tend to do that, precisely.
Especially in this part of town.
Sort of nods and says, yeah, it's not really too surprising, if I'm being entirely honest. But, well, the people that were trying to purchase the house weren't brave, such as yourselves, or well-equipped for the task.
See, I can handle ghosts. I don't think I want to live with them, so...
Yeah, I'm not recommending you move in, unless, it's a friendly ghost, and I'll Say it again. This is not a friendly ghost.
Actually, it is a friendly ghost, or we can
I'll
befriend
put him
it.
in a bottle.
It's a good defense system, though.
Indeed, yes. If you could somehow find a way to, I guess, make a deal with it, wouldn't be too bad to live there. Also, Wilger, you might need a fairly large bottle.
No big problem.
Prepare the extra large bottle.
He smirks that and sort of leans back and kicks both his boots up on the table and says, well, that's about everything I got. Like I said, if you got any questions, I'll be here for another, 40 or so minutes, and then I gotta head out.
Okay.
Sounds about as fake as we like. Let's start gathering information, I guess.
Alrighty. So you guys were told, obviously by Richter, that there is a house. You guys know precisely where it is, so there's no question whatsoever. Basically, it's just haunted. When you guys are going to gather this information, precisely what are you looking for? What skills are we using?
I mean, I'm definitely getting my hands on the actual blueprint, so we at least know like how the house is laid out.
Okay. The actual blueprint that you were able to find is much closer to how it should look. The one they had jotted down really quick was definitely, it was accurate, but this gives you more detail. It seems to be a 2-story building. There are approximately 8-9 rooms.
And also, if possible, like a former residence documentation and stuff like that, if they keep any records like that.
History on the house itself.
History in the house, the people that lived in it.
You're definitely able to get some of the information. Of course, the Vales lived there. It remains known as the Vale Estate, primarily because everyone who moved in after quickly moved out. So you have some of the names. Upon looking into their past, you don't really see too many of them being linked to other gangs. There is one, though, that you think you've seen the name. You're not 100% sure, but you think one of these people might be linked to the Circle of Flame, which is maybe where the lady heard about this rumor.
What about the Vales themselves?
The Vales themselves? What do you want to know, precisely?
I don't know, family history. Why did they abandon the place?
They were killed.
How? When?
Nice.
In the house?
In the house, yes.
Brutally?
So their ghost might still be there.
Potentially, I guess.
I will say from what Richter said, it feels like this was covered up. They were indeed murdered, but there was definitely something off about it.
Does the documentation have any like weirdness in it that Desmond would be able to see? Like, yeah, this doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, precisely. So as you're sort of looking around, you can see that there was really no history of violence with this family. They very much stuck to themselves. No real reported incidents prior to this. It seems that one day something just happened. Either they rubbed elbows with the wrong people, they pissed off the wrong people, or there was some sort of internal dispute. You're not entirely sure. But something very bad happened. And everyone was just found dead one day. It's very much intentionally unclear as to what happened to them.
And Desmond reach out to Jeremy for police reports?
That's where he's getting this information from, yeah. You have no way of getting this otherwise.
So the police have no idea.
Correct.
Well, or they are part of it. But
Right, yeah. I guess to rewind slightly, you guys obviously don't have information. There's no way to find this information out. The only reason you can is because you know someone on the force.
which is weird because Desmond knows a lot of things.
Yeah, well, let me put it this way. You may know a lot of things, but in Duskfall, they're not documented. People die all the time, and it's swept under the rug. The only way someone would know is if a person on the street found out, but there's zero documentation on that. Most things are not documented here.
Considering they had an estate, it's probably slightly more high profile though, so.
Right, exactly. So because of that, this murder was indeed investigated, but it looks like their method, whatever it was, however they were killed, is specifically covered up. And looking into previous things in the past, Desmond, you do know that is abnormal.
Well, that's gotta be interesting. I guess we'll have to go in and find out.
So rather than waiting for the ghosty to appear, can Ogre summon it and I talk to it to give Ogre time to shove it in a bottle?
I mean, we've done it before, so maybe.
But I mean,
Assuming-
it's probably gonna fight like a bitch.
As ghosts are known to do.
Make sure you bring a spirit charm, I guess.
Technically, if my thing works, I can just tell it to get in the bottle.
Get it.
But that's if it works. It probably won't be that easy.
What do the blueprints of the house show? Are there any like hidden rooms?
So it's 2-story, about 9 rooms. The bedrooms are primarily upstairs. There's an office downstairs. There doesn't seem to be any pockets. There's no unaccounted for room or square footage that you can see.
We'll probably have to go inside to actually check.
Okay.
So assuming we have all the items that we want on ourselves, what is going to be your guys' approach to this?
Like, do we want to try summoning it? Or do we want to try just finding the whatever the hell it is? that's hidden in the house?
I mean, we can summon it, and I guess Kim can try and talk to it. I still doubt that'll work, but we can try. And while Kim's talking to it, we can look for the thing.
Oh, you want me to hold a whole damn conversation with it?
Yeah. I can try to put it in the bottle, but if that doesn't work, then we're just kind of...
Man, how is it gonna
or
talk if it's in,
screwed.
it's in a bottle? I don't think it can talk if it's in a bottle, right?
Well, putting it in the bottle isn't really so we can talk to it. It's so it doesn't kill us.
Yeah.
From what you guys have gathered, like I said, it should be fairly easy to get in because effectively the place is just open. So in terms of our engagement, basically the way we're starting.
I guess for a start we would go in during the day, so there's less chance we get attacked.
Okay.
Assuming
Yeah.
that logic holds in this world.
During the day, but it's still dark.
Basically.
True, during the twilight, whatever it's called.
Oh, I guess on that note, do you guys have any light sources?
I mean, we have a bottle with a soul in it.
Does he count as a light source?
You want to bring him with you?
What's the generic light source that everyone? Because everyone should
I mean,
carry
we have
a light
ghost
source.
lanterns, right?
Those are rather
Or those rare.
expensive and probably would be something you'd have in your inventory.
About just like a basic oil lantern?
I would say you guys have a basic oil lantern, yeah. Oh yeah, no, a lantern is an object. So yeah, if you guys want a lantern, you got to throw it in your inventory. So do we have all the items we want?
Yeah. I forget my new gun. Does it shoot ghosts or does it just use ghosts as fuel?
It uses electroplasm fuel to shoot. You're not
Okay.
sure how many times it can shoot, but at least one. It definitely has ammo in it, to be clear.
Would it hurt a ghost?
I will say to use it, you have to use a stat that is required with that, though, so it might be kind of hard. All right, so we'll probably do a fairly simple engagement roll just because, as we said, nothing really too crazy is happening. It starts at 1. It will get +1 for every advantage. We can just list them off real quick. Obviously, we have the blueprints of this house. We know it's haunted. We effectively know what we're looking for. I will say just the fact that it's haunted -1. And then, what else? All right, I will roll 3 dice for the engagement roll then. And to be clear, we are just walking in the front door.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we got a 6. Dope. Awesome. All right. So that means when you guys enter, we're in a perfectly controlled position. You move in, and unsurprisingly, it is incredibly dark. Lighting a lantern would be most wise while walking around this home. The floorboards creak. You actually see, as you're looking around, some furniture. Bookcases were left behind. Whoever was here left in a hurry. This furniture technically has value, if you need a couch, I guess. But the books they're just leftover books. Nothing weird. None of this belongs to the Vales. At least on the first floor, from where you guys can see, they moved out long ago. You guys are easily able to take in your surroundings. We see that, we'll say the door to this estate, rather than being in the center, is basically to the left of the home. And then moving in, you see sort of like a dining area, and there's a table pushed up against the back wall, turning to the right from there, kind of comparing what you see and comparing what you have in your blueprint. You can see there's a kitchen around the corner, that all adds up. And you kind of look around some more. There's a study. One of the doors is kind of swinging. The hinge just kind of completely came undone. Upon looking around, you can see various traces of past violence. It looks like someone tried to cover it up. Behind one of the bookcases, it looks like there was a scratch in the wall they weren't able to cover up completely. Some of the floorboards look like they both look and sound loose. You step on one, it kind of creaks. You go back and step on it again, and the nails kind of come up a bit. And the wood itself feels a little more ragged. And then to the very right of the house, the stairs that go up to the second floor. But floor 1 is basically living room, kitchen, study, and then just a side room.
Alright, I put out my spirit box and ask it where it is.
Behind you, stab.
Ah, must be a demon.
Are you friendly?
Aggressive. How did you die?
How old are you?
All right, so looking around, what do you guys do?
Quick, what does the EMF reader say?
I'll pull up my lantern.
It says run.
Oh no.
All right, so Kim stuffs
What?
some...
I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah, Kim stuffs up some fried rat into your mouth and then pulls out your lantern.
Why
delicious.
fried rat?
I don't know, I heard you got something in your mouth.
Would you prefer a centipede?
Yeah, would you prefer centipedes? Maybe some mushrooms? I just heard, I pour out my lantern. I can hear you eating.
For the mushrooms.
Okay. Kim does mushrooms.
Oh no.
This will help her find the ghost, trust me.
It's part of the ability.
So am I just...
She needs to be
Am I
very
summoning the ghost?
hard. Do you want to do it right now, or do you want to explore the house first?
Yeah, I kind of want to explore first.
I mean, I feel
I
like
mean,
if we start
realistically-
exploring, it'll find us first, and it won't be as.
I mean, realistically, could you do like an attune roll on the house to find out where the best ghost location is?
Whatever the first few things you guys do, because you're in a good controlled position. The engagement roll kind of just it determines a few things. It determines fate first and foremost. Basically, does something bad happen? Does the bad in this location, aka the ghost, does it reveal itself? Etc., etc. Basically, things of that nature. So because you're in a good control position, you do believe that fate has sort of aligned, so certain actions will be more potent than others. So if you're trying to basically look for where this ghost is coming from, I'll be more willing to say yes, as long as you're pretty descriptive and you tell me what you're doing, rather than just like, I'm putting my arms out and like, boop, 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 boop. Like, that's silly. If you look somewhere in particular, then, I'll give you a good answer.
I pick up Ogre and use him as a dowsing rod.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Don't just like roll Ogre on the floor saying, look for a ghost.
I feel like he would probably do that anyways. I will look around for the place that looks like it had the most violence.
As you begin to look around, you eventually end up in the study. And like I said, this is on the first floor. They did do a pretty good job at cleaning up. They did attempt to sell this house after all. So various rugs were thrown down, wood was replaced, things of that nature. But you get the feeling, while looking around, I'll say Desmond specifically, because you have the blueprints, you sort of get the feeling that they were in a rush. There's definitely some planks and things that were left behind that they 100% could have and should have replaced. So things should not be covered up, meaning the construction crew probably felt bad juju here and left. So looking around, kind of comparing each room to what you have, both the quick scribblings and the blueprint, you do actually notice something very interesting. There's a second study on the second floor. It's next to the master bedroom, it seems. There are other smaller bedrooms, or they seem to be like bedrooms, upstairs. There's a frame of a bed that was left behind. It's just kind of cockeyed in the corner, pushed up against. There's some various cobwebs and such on it. It's sort of left to its own devices as of current. You can actually see kind of in the corner, one of the windows is also slightly cracked open, and there's some wind blowing in, maybe a little bit of rain as well. And as you go into the master bedroom, like I said, it links into a second study. Looking around here, Desmond, you actually compare what you see to the blueprint and to the sketch. And you notice there is a tiny, and I mean tiny, discrepancy. This place is quite large. The room is rectangular. Up against one of the side walls, though, kind of behind where a bookcase would probably normally be, there seems to be, now that you're here in person, a gap? Or the blueprint's wrong or something's wrong. But there is approximately, just maybe like a foot or so of space. And moving about, you kind of poke at those floorboards and some of the wall. Like I mentioned before, the team moved in and moved out quickly. You do find that one of the ones they covered, the floorboard is actually loose, and one of the wall boards is also loose.
Take them out.
As you sort of pry this off, it definitely takes a little bit of extra effort, but you instantly feel a draft brush against your fingers when it comes loose, and you pull the rest off.
Checking the blueprint if there was a basement in this place.
Not according to the blueprint. And looking here, it actually almost looks like a second wall was essentially erected just past the first wall, which is technically correct now that you're looking at the blueprint, and you're able to sort of peel back these boards, and you can see that there's somewhat of an entrance here. No door, but you can see sort of a frame around this entryway. And it leads into, like I said, a very thin, like 1 foot entryway. You'd have to walk sideways probably to get down here.
Desmond sideways or everyone sideways?
You might be able to walk sideways, Kim. I don't know what
Desmond
you're...
is literally square. He can't fit either way.
Oh, you're thick in both directions? All right, Desmond's dumper.
It's going to be a squeeze.
Okay.
It's dumper.
We
I
need to
pulled Desmond through.
we need to lube up Desmond, clearly.
I've
Ghost
got
loop.
butter. It's fine.
Precisely. Ogre, go ahead and roll me a tune, but go ahead and do it controlled with standard effect. As Desmond, are you helping peel back these walls, Ogre, or are you kind of focusing on what you're doing?
I'll let him mess with the walls.
So we'll say you're kind of fully focusing on your action right now. And as he peels back these strips of wood, you definitely feel an angry presence. There's something past here. Just the fact that you're touching it and pulling it away. You do feel like in the past, or maybe if the stars aligned a different way today, that there would have been some negative repercussions for unveiling this pathway. But luckily for you guys, no issues, but you definitely very much feel a presence. And as you guys look down here, it's approximately a foot, maybe a little more, hallway that's essentially like a gap in the wall. And this gap goes down a sort of makeshift set of stairs when you kind of put your lantern in, and it goes down, 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 down. Comparing it to the rest of the blueprint, it looks like this fake wall, whatever it is probably built up against the main entertainment room when you first enter the building. But it's very subtle. You didn't have the original blueprints to compare them to this. You probably wouldn't know. The two of you can squeeze fairly easily down here. If you were to walk going straight, you might have to kind of like wriggle your hips to get through. But Desmond, you will fit. It'll just be a little more difficult. You're effectively descending steps from floor 2 back down to floor 1. The light does go down this little hallway, but it fades pretty quickly because it is a fairly steep descent.
So, according to the blueprints, where would this end up, though? Because this is second floor, right?
It should theoretically end on the first floor, but the light doesn't go far enough to see. I also will say the wood here was fairly easy to remove, like too easy. They definitely covered it up in a hurry.
Is this where we summon our ghost?
In this tiny hole where I'm stuck.
Yep.
Oh,
not good.
sorry.
I guess we
I
find
mean,
out where we end up after we descend.
Okay.
All right, so you guys are going down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dragging Desmond slowly.
I'm buttered up, it's fine.
Yeah, so just get all the that chicken grease that you've been saving up.
Oh no, that's disgusting.
You descend these steps. They're rather steep. Down and down you go. You sort of have to brace your hands on the right and left wall. Kim, are you leading or is Ogre leading?
Well,
I assume Ogre is leading at this point.
yeah, if Desmond's actually trying to pull, then he should be leading, and I'll follow up. Push.
Okay, so
The whole
Ogre.
mission's turned into trying to get the stick man down.
So there's a Desmond sandwich.
I'm not having that much trouble getting down,
So
honestly.
we're doing one of these. A little,
Just in case.
a little conga line of Ogre up front, Desmond's in the middle, and Kim's like pushing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I might have to hold my breath a bit, but it's fine. I can go down.
By the way, one more note. While we were looking through, I would have been looking at the paintings on the walls, if there were any.
Nope.
Okay.
All gone. There's a frame left. It looks like someone like ripped a painting out very violently, but unfortunately gone.
Nice.
Yeah. I assume this would probably make Kim kind of sad.
Just a little.
Just a little. As you guys descend the steps, Ogre, you're probably pulling on Desmond just a little bit to help guide him, primarily because your other hand is holding the lantern. And you're slowly descending and descending these steps, and you guys realize you've been descending for longer than you should be, actually.
I hate you.
Why?
You and your creepy stories.
It's not creepy.
Uh-huh.
No,
It's
there's a
just a long stairway.
Yeah, there's a
Sorry
pony down
about
here.
that.
Yeah, nothing scary about a long stairway.
Did you say a pony down here?
Yeah, you get to the bottom, there's a unicorn.
I hate you.
It's like, hello, Billini, how are you doing today?
I hate
It-
you.
What's
Poops
wrong with the
rainbows
pony?
all over the wall, and then it
Oh
vomits
my
up
God.
glitter. And it says,
Oh
you
my
found
God.
me! I'm the
That's
secret
worse.
unicorn of Duskwall! If you free me, the darkness will go away and everything will be fine.
I don't know about that mushroom I ate, guys.
I
It might
kill
have
it.
been past due.
You just need to pet me. Do it, Kim.
Kim, why are
No.
you petting that rat?
No, what?
Save the world, Kim. Do it.
Mm.
Pet me.
Oh.
Suddenly it becomes a nightmare.
Anyway, if there's no
Always
unicorn, I'm
best
sorry.
friend.
Anyway, you find the long lost copy of the first cut of The Last Unicorn. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's signed.
Dun,
Oh my
dun.
god.
I know, right?
They actually sell for a lot. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Buy that shit up on VHS,
Actually-
baby. That's on beta.
Yeah, that's the issue. Nobody has a VHS in Dustfall.
First, oh man, they all switched over to HD.
Oh.
Then there are 4 movies in HD.
They actually use a laser disc, which is why Duskfall happened.
Exactly. Like, how dare you? In this
This is the
alternate timeline.
The alternate use for it is when instead of DVDs we use laser disc.
Exactly. So, DVDs, Earth. Laserdiscs, Duskfall. Not even once. Anyway, there's no unicorn, unfortunately. It is indeed dark, but you can see the light flickering against the walls as you descend. And looking kind of forward, Kim and Ogre, you kind of have a little higher view, Kim, fortunately. And the ceiling is relatively low. You can have to duck your head a little bit as you're going down. This is a very, very tight hallway. Your shoulders are scraping up against the walls as you're walking down. And you notice that the steps themselves are very makeshift. Some of them are stone. Some of them are very poorly nailed down. to who knows what. Honestly, it's very difficult to see down here. The walls themselves have plenty of dust, unfortunately, on them. As you guys sort of pass by what should be the first floor, you see that it just kind of keeps going. And you notice the wall itself is reinforced on the first floor, which is probably why they weren't able to find it here specifically. And you continue going down, down, and down. And the rain and the wind we heard sort of assaulting the home before fades into the distance, as we're now well into whatever basement the Vale Estate had. Your light eventually washes up against what seems to be a door at the end of this hallway.
Old man,
He died from shock.
do you sense something bad about the door?
It's a door.
Oh.
I've never seen this
Sorry,
before. How does it work?
I was trying to feel the ghost. Shove open that door.
Maybe assuming it to be locked or something else. You give it maybe a good push, I'd say, because it's been down here a while, clearly undisturbed. There's a thin layer of dust on the handle, and it offers a wonderfully distinct creak as you push this door open. And you're all greeted with a relatively large room lined in brick. In the center, you can see what seems to be a stone table. Lined up against the walls, you see various other tables. These are made of wood. They are not ornate in any way, shape, or form. Once again, very makeshift. Just past this seems to be another door. The room you guys are currently in is approximately, I want to say like 30 by 30, around that. The ceiling itself is maybe 10 feet, maybe a little lower. It's a pretty short ceiling. Tall people are not welcome here.
Poor Desmond.
Yes, if there's
I'm not that tall, come on now.
yeah, if there's a potential of you bonking your head in the ceiling just being a foot away, that's pretty short. So we'll say the ceiling is about 7 feet. And looking through here, Ogre, your spidey senses are tingling. The only light offered is from your lantern, and it dances off the stone walls that seem slick with probably water.
The ghost is wet.
I too have a lantern, so I'm probably gonna like look around, see if anything specific about this room.
I actually
Okay.
don't have a lantern. I let everyone else take them.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, we'll say you're probably borrowing Kim's then, since she was in the back.
Ogre has dark vision, it's fine.
I am the darkness.
Precisely. Yeah.
I was born
God,
in
you
it.
probably believe that.
Molded by it. Looking around this room, you can see this was undisturbed. As I mentioned before, there is a thin layer of dust on everything. The floor is relatively wet, so whatever dust might have been there is like slightly washed away. The walls also relatively wet, but everything else in this area has like a semi-soggy layer of dust on it. There's various books. You see beakers and vials, a whole bunch of just really interesting things that looks similar to a lab, if anything.
Is it like anything we've seen before?
No, probably not. Upon first blush, it looks, I wouldn't say like a doctor's office, but like for a second, you kind of get that vibe. But definitely not. This is far too dirty for a doctor's office.
Can I see like how this house was powered? Basically landline power or something? Ghost energy? Or did it have candles and stuff like that?
The upper portion of the home was definitely powered by, we'll say primarily candles. There were various locations where they probably had the electroplasmic power. It looks like they were sticking closer to just fire to light things. And you see various, I don't know if the word is sconce, but the little, basically candle holders are sticking out of the walls. Various locations for lanterns, effectively. None are lit. There's no candle in them. They might have been oil burning at one point, but they are wet.
Is this like rainwater or is it definitely sewer water?
Taking a quick breath in, Kim, and risking losing your nose and sense of smell forever, you determine that it's rain.
So there's a leak somewhere.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, it's underground. Makes sense. Thinking back, going down, where would we currently be on the blueprints? Like in the yard or something?
You would be approximately, I would say, halfway under the yard and halfway under the living room.
Okay.
This was a fairly steep decline.
Is there a place to like hang my lantern in the middle of the room to light up most of the room-ish?
If you want to hang it, you can. You can obviously put it on the altar in the center. There's various tables you can put it on. You see to the left and to the right of the room, so there's nothing on the ceiling to hang it. But to the left and the right, it looks like the lanterns there are actually hung. They're not attached to the wall. So you could very much remove one of the dead lanterns and put yours up if you wished.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Looking down, you can see that the table in front of you is fairly well lit. It's not great. You can see, though.
Yeah, that's plenty.
If you were here for too long, you'd probably strain your eyes.
And there was another door, right?
There's a door at the opposite end of the room. There are various bookcases and, like, I'd say 4 or so tables. There's 2 on the left side of the wall and 2 on the right side of the wall. The bookcases there's like 1 against the left, 1 against the right, and there's a longer one against the wall opposite from where you guys entered, near the other door.
Any books
Inspect
of
the room.
interest?
What are we looking for precisely?
Is there a reoccurring theme with the books? Are they
Yeah.
medical books? Are they story books?
Okay, Ogre, are you helping or looking at something else?
Just feeling around for the ghost.
You're feeling around and your senses aren't locking onto anything in particular. It almost feels like it's all around you. There's definitely a presence, and as you guys are in here, you very much know you're being watched. This isn't too weird, considering where we are, and you do get this feeling fairly occasionally when you guys are walking down the street in the areas that have more murder than we would like. You occasionally get the feeling that someone's watching you, and you know if you were to turn around, there'd be nobody there. Kind of scoping the place out, Ogre. You do that for a little while. Desmond and Kim begin to look through the books, and you guys can tell very quickly that this was sort of a makeshift medical center. But you realize very quickly that some of these books are, I'd say the 2 of you would be fairly acclimated to just, seeing very standard books, doing research and such. So you know what, the difference between a journal, a short print book, or...
Yes, went to college.
Right. Yeah, precisely. More official, like encyclopedias and such. Something you do notice instantly, Desmond and Kim. Most of these books have to deal with human anatomy. You find that as you kind of scope around a bit, other books deal with animal anatomy, or whatever animals, are remaining, that is. Dipping even further, you find that throughout these anatomy books, whoever owned these, I'll just say seemed angry. You can tell this because some of the pages are torn, and some of the entries are ripped through for whatever reason. I do believe there is literally a stat for looking at books, and I've never had you roll it ever. So if 2 of you could roll me study, that'd be great. But go ahead and...
roll that once, actually.
Possibly, yes. I want you to roll it with a controlled position and a standard effect. Damn, boy.
That's a 6.
We'll say working together, mainly because I just want to see y'all roll this die. We'll say you're able to gather this information fairly quick. Together, that is. Kim, maybe you linger on some of these books for a little bit longer. Specifically the books on anatomy, and maybe you're trying to figure out like what was crossed out, right? Maybe if there's a pattern, there's something going on there. Desmond, you flip through it fairly quick. You can see what Kim is doing. You understand that she has that pat down. You start going through some other books, and you realize there isn't really much on like ectoplasm or ghosts or that side of the paranormal, at least. Whoever worked down here seems to not entirely ignore it, but kind of blech. And a lot of the human anatomy bits that are crossed out that you saw quickly, Desmond and Kim, you realize he wrote down his own notes kind of in the margins and such, but then he has other books, Desmond, that you're able to find sort of immediately next to the one that Kim is reading that basically has his fixed version. No, this is how it's done. No. This is what it looks like on the inside, trust me, etc., etc.
So what's different then?
He doesn't agree with the internal structure of our bodies and what we can and cannot sustain. This would kill a man. No, it wouldn't. You can live after this. Blunt force trauma, in this sense, no. I've tested X, Y, and Z. And some of it is less so he disagrees, and more so maybe he sees it as a flaw in our design in some way, shape, or form. And in some of the drawings in this journal entry, Desmond, it looks human on the outside, but on the inside, there's extra bones, which you notice like instantly. The muscle structure is different. The bone structure is different. The skull has like an extra plate layer in some locations. And going throughout these, you actually begin to notice some of these books are no longer about humans. They're not about ghosts either. They delve into something completely different. Some of these books delve into figures that are almost impossible to describe, but he does his absolute best. You notice and recognize these as devils, as demons. Things from the Deathlands that should not be here, and we should not have access to.
I would basically be showing them to Ogre, I guess. Do you recognize any of these?
That's my cousin Larry.
Do I
Larry.
recognize any of them? Because I can speak to demons.
Have you ever been in the Ghostlands, though?
No.
Because that's where they reside, as far as I know, right?
Mm-hmm. They should not be in Dustfall for any reason.
Actually, in that case, if I know how to talk to them, is that some innate like supernatural gift, or would I have
Effectively.
passed through?
So you can do this the way you want to, Cam. I would say because you don't really have a background with the Deathlands, you don't really have an interest in going there, you can definitely talk to ghosts. You definitely know that devils definitely exist. You know that. I want to say this is up to you because you've never really had a chance to do this, so you wouldn't know you can do this. I would say you can talk to devils but don't know it, right?
Sure, that's fair.
That would make sense, yeah. If you were to see one, you'd be like, oh shit, and then like maybe it speaks and you can actually understand it and go, oh my god, I understand what it said. But because you have no way of testing this, how would you know you can do this? You didn't just like wake up and go, yes, I now have devil speech. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do have the ability to do so, but maybe you're unaware of it.
Okay.
Okay.
So from the way this is written, or at least the books are written,
Mhm.
can I like surmise that he either thinks himself human and he isn't, or is it more like he thinks that humans and devils are the same thing?
It almost looks as if maybe he's angry with the human design and he can see beauty in the design of the other. As I mentioned, there are indeed other, animals, horses, some chickens, but these are more so him looking into currently living creatures. What makes them tick? How can they survive this? How can they survive that? If a limb is removed, can it be reattached? Do you actually die if you lose a limb? Why do we bleed out? Why doesn't it just seal up instantly? Why can't we just grow back something different? Why do our nails grow back? Things like that. Why does our hair grow back? We don't have to think about it. It just happens. So he's jotting down various drawings, I would say, of like either what he thinks to be demons or maybe things that he's seen. Creatures with leathery, like torn, ratted wings, dripping ichor, large razor-sharp claws, just bone protrusions from very uncomfortable-looking locations. They are unpleasant to look at, I will say.
Was there a higher than normal amount of missing persons in this local area?
It's a good question.
Well, whatever this guy was up to, he apparently thought that it was about time humans started going back into the Deathlands, I guess.
I want to say there isn't a higher rate of missing people, as many folk do indeed go missing every day. But maybe if one were to kind of go back and track the disappearances of some, you might find something you don't like. So that there might be a connection, Cam. It's a good question.
Okay.
I don't think we'll like what we see behind that door.
Probably not.
Interesting stuff, though.
As you flip through the pages further and further, that feeling of being watched is just increasing. It feels almost malicious now.
So, Ogre, time to summon that ghost? Assuming
Okay.
it even is a ghost? Oh god, do I know how to speak to demons?
I hope so. I'm gonna try to summon it.
Well, better learn it real quick.
What is the exact phrasing on that ability, Ogre?
You can attune to the ghost field to force a nearby ghost to appear and obey a command you give it. You are not supernaturally terrified by a ghost you summon or compelled, though your allies may be.
Is it a good idea if I wait upstairs?
Probably.
Yes, okay.
Because I can talk to them, so I should definitely be safe.
I'll climb back up the stairs, I guess.
Okay. I will say when you go upstairs, Desmond, if they need you, it's going to be a long way back down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, can you, wait behind the door?
I mean, I can, but if I need to go back up for whatever reason, I'm going to slow down you guys.
Oh, I guess that's true. Alright.
He also can't do anything to me because I do have a spirit charm on me.
I mean, I do too, so...
Yes. Should you have it on you if you're summoning one? Does it not
I'm not
scare it away or
sure.
something?
A small trinket that ghosts prefer to avoid. All right, that is nice and vague.
Yeah, but is it like they can't get in the same room or they don't want to be in the same room as you, or is it more of a they don't want to touch you kind of deal?
I would say it's more of an art than a science. Basically, the lower tier ghost, the more it'll entirely avoid you. The higher tier ghost will just completely ignore it and or maybe take some damage upon touching you, but it can only protect you so much.
Yes, I like that you bring up the technicality of higher tier ghosts while we're inside a massive, potentially demon-infested house.
That's how it works. All right, so Desmond, are you basically stepping out into the room prior that leads to the stairs before they do this, or are you kind of just chilling?
Like, I guess they can start by the time I start going up the stairs. I'll have a head start if things go wrong, and if they need me, I can come back.
Sounds good. So as you go back to do that, Mr. Ogre, you're going to attune this lad and try to get him to come out.
Yeah, but I'm gonna pull out my my spirit mask, bring out my spirit bottles, get my lightning hook ready.
Get everything ready.
Yep.
Find Spirit Mask, an arcane item that allows the trained user to see supernatural energies in great detail. Also affords some measure of protection against ghostly possession. Each spirit mask is unique. What does yours look like? What makes it strange and disturbing to see? Oh, that's fun. And then the hook helps you get things into the bottle, right?
Yeah,
does your
you
spirit
get things
mask
into
look
the
like?
bottle.
Yeah, say, well,
Don't
what's
worry
your...
about it.
What's... Desmond thinks as
Give me a
Ogre's
second.
like popping it on.
This one's perfectly weird.
Perfectly, I like weird.
Here you go. In D&D chat. That's my mask.
Dope.
Nice.
Awesome. It's a demon with 6 eyes, 4 horns, and a row of jagged teeth.
That is not what I pictured Ogre having.
That's far too cool.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I was locally expecting you to put it like a
Cool.
cardboard cutout of a clown face or something.
Yes.
No, what do you mean?
Sorry, Ogre.
My friends are so mean to me.
It's okay, I like it.
Turns out Ogre is actually really fucking boss when it comes to ghosts.
All right, bud. It is time to attune. You know this is very dangerous. The position, just straight up, is going to be desperate.
Okay, well, that's experience at least.
Yeah.
That is experience. I'll say standard effect, yeah.
Would have put me in a desperate position as well.
What's the devil's bargain?
Oh, boy. Okay, the devil's bargain is the... I'll tell you something because you're able to feel this. You have your mask, you have all your little trinkets on you. This is a ghost, question mark? It's probably a ghost. You're very certain it's a ghost. There's something wrong with it. There's something extra going on here. You very much know that, Ogre. You know this is desperate. You know this is dangerous. Like, this is very, very dangerous. Because of that, you know if this goes wrong, you could very much lose something important to you.
That already happened last time.
Yeah, not a memory or a knowledge. And it might not even be you, actually. It won't be damage, but basically I'm going to have it lash out in addition to the mixed success being what it is. And it will break one of your like spirit type items.
No.
I will randomly roll. It might not be yours. It might be one of Kim's. But it's going to break someone's spirit type item. I'll just randomly roll on a table and see which one it is.
I only have one spirit type item.
That can give a lower chance of getting hit then.
Okay.
I'll just push myself. I don't
Dude.
want to break Kim's stuff.
Okay.
Or my stuff.
I only have the charm, so that's whatever.
So
Yeah, but I don't want to break my stuff.
Yeah, you know the reason it would do this is because summoning a being like this is you're basically offending it. And bringing these types of things in its presence is an outright offense. So it's lashing out against them.
I think Kim can also help, I guess. Can you assist?
Can you?
With summoning,
It's an attune roll. I'm not sure if you have any attune.
I have
I mean,
1
you can talk
point
to
in
ghosts. I don't know if
attune.
that'll help.
That's better than nothing. Or you can do it as a group effort, I guess.
Would Ogre be able to properly tell Kim what he needs for this assisted summoning?
I mean, probably not. I do my weird little dances and shit.
Yeah. I would say if you know what to tell Kim, I'll let her either help with a group activity or with just a standard assist. Otherwise, this is definitely outside her depth. Because she's been spending all... They've been booking while you're kind of focusing on your summon.
I mean, I can try. I'll just be like, just follow my lead and dance like me and
Okay.
say the spirit
I
words.
mean, it's not like Kim doesn't have any experience with this at all.
Of course, yeah.
I will try to tell her what I need, but I've not really had anyone help me with shit like this.
All right, so Kim, this is on you. Do you want this to be a group activity, or are you assisting him?
I'd be rolling 5 dice.
Mm-hmm.
Another assist.
Okay. Keep in mind that the fallout from any of this, in any type of assist, you're complicit.
It's fine. You both die.
I'll just get another trauma. It's fine.
Not a big deal.
It's only my 3rd one.
Excellent. That should be 5 total then.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, wait. Thank God.
Thank God you
Oh,
do
Jesus.
it. Oh my God. 33363.
Wow.
That almost failed.
Jesus.
You did it.
What does your ghost summoning look like?
It's easier if I find a YouTube video than try to describe it.
I swear, if you're doing some weird ass floss dance or something.
No.
I believe.
I can't find anything that I'm looking for. Imagine like a bunch of dumb cavemen just kind of like dancing around a fire trying to summon something. That's basically what I look like.
Okay.
Just like kind of hopping around doing a weird jig.
All right. Are you joining him in this, Kim?
Yes.
You're trying your absolute best?
I'm trying my absolute best.
Okay.
I might be blushing like a sailor.
All right. So Ogre and Kim, the two of you begin to dance. You had a lantern on you, right, Kim?
Yeah.
Where'd you put it?
I guess I would have put it down by the door.
Is it on the floor then?
Yeah.
Unless there's something to hang it on, probably.
There,
Is-
yeah.
Is there somewhere to hang it on?
Yeah, of course.
I will do that.
With me as I went back up, actually.
You probably would have to. It's pitch black, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll say you took your lantern with, and then Kim, you just basically replaced his lantern with yours. It's hanging on the left wall of this room, effectively. And the two of you are dancing by this flickering firelight as you begin to feel a pressure in this room grow and grow and grow.
It's mad.
It's not happy. It's definitely not happy. Fortunately, you feel as if all the equipment you brought with you is helping. You can definitely sense this being, this very, very, very angry being reaching out to you, attempting to strangle, attempting to squeeze and harm you. But you see that through your very fine and very, very specific movements, Ogre, you're able to somehow beat this thing back for just a moment. You can tell that if this thing were summoned improperly, it would hurt the summoner, as this thing wants to come into contact with you on its own terms. But you force it to basically come out early. And Kim, whatever cute dance you're doing, trying to mimic Ogre, you also feel yourself protected. You also feel safe. And before you, Ogre, as you continue your dance and your chanting grows louder and louder, the fire dances along with you against the wall. Figures of your shadows begin to actually move almost separate from your bodies, also dancing along the walls, spinning in opposite directions. You see a third shadow joining, but it's not dancing, and it peels itself from the wall and presents itself momentarily to you, Ogre. And specifically, looking at you, it looks incredibly, incredibly unhappy. There's a human face in there, but it's primarily obscured in shadow. Its long arms end in 4 jagged claws. This whole thing seems to be basically encapsulated in shadow. It almost looks like fire, but black. What do you say to it?
Well, I can give it a command.
You can.
Can I ask us some questions first?
You get the feeling that whatever you do would have to probably be one thing relatively quick. You can tell it doesn't want to be here, and you can tell it didn't like being summoned. I would say, how close are you to it, Kim? Ogre is obviously closer to it, and it's looking at him. So you can see in its eyes, Ogre, rage, like a blind rage.
Question real quick.
Yes.
Can I talk to it after it's in the bottle?
Theoretically, yeah. It depends on how you guys do it.
All right, so let me just get it in the bottle first.
Tell it to get in the bottle, I guess. I don't know how that's gonna work out.
And I want to say I was on the opposite side. If Ogre was dancing around in a circle, then I was on the opposite side.
So it would be in the middle of the two of you then. You tell it to get in the bottle, Ogre, and it very much, unsurprisingly, does not want to. Its body begins to pull towards it, and it unwillingly begins to lash out. You see it scratch out at you. Its arm just flails, but its claws phase through your body. You feel your flesh tingle, almost like a wave of cold moved through you, and your insides feel cold, almost as if your blood has slowed right where it scratched at you. You don't receive any damage from this, but it feels wrong. It lashes out again. One of its errant claws strikes out at Kim, and this cold feeling, this frigid slash, only lasts but a moment. But all the same, it fills you both with a very sickly, just guttural ugh. And as it begins to be pulled down into this bottle, you can actually see its like ethereal, flaming shadow, whatever's around it, is almost being stripped and pulled off. As you command it to get into the bottle, something is actually pulled into the bottle. About half of its, we'll just call it shadow armor, is effectively stripped off of it. And you can sort of see under the rippling flames, its left arm is exposed now, and you just see taut black and blue flesh. The skin is so tight to its frame, you can see easily from where the two of you stand amongst the flickering flames various bones that should not be. This looks to be a human arm, but it's extended. The forearm itself is twice as long as it should be. The fingers seem to have 3 to 4 extra ligaments and bones when it like curls its hand. It almost can't actually curl its hand into a fist. The fingers are just far too long.
Oh, well, that's why it's mad.
All of it looks incredibly it just looks like an offense to humanity. You can't see the rest of its skin and the rest of its body, but you can very much tell it now wants to hurt the two of you immensely.
So we got its like shadow armor in the bottle, basically.
Yeah, effectively you pulled a part of it into this bottle, and you can tell it wants to do violence right now. It wants to do a big violence.
A big violence?
A very big violence on your face.
Is it safe yet?
No!
I would say, Desmond, you can basically hear from where you are that the summoning is done, but how far did you walk away?
Let's say I'm about halfway at this point.
Okay. We'll say from where you are, Desmond, you've actually felt the house shake a bit, and the shaking has ceased. The walls around you begin to kind of like crumble. You can see some of the dust come down, and you hear, before you see it, a snap, like a crack of wood at the very top of the steps. And then it shakes again, and then next to you, you see one of the planks just kind of burst, almost like the whole house is shifting. After about 3 or 4 of those, it stops. The house stops shaking. And you know whatever they're doing down there is done, but you're not sure if it's safe or not.
Can I use the lightning hook to try to shove more of it in the bottle?
You very much can. Kim, what are you doing?
Can I use my ghost voice to try and soothe the ghost?
You want to try to like calm it down?
Yeah.
Okay. While the two of them are readying for battle soothing, Desmond, do you continue up the stairs or down the stairs after the rumbling has ceased?
I would probably go upstairs to check if like there's damage to the house, because I don't want it collapsing on us. So I'd go upstairs, I guess.
All right. I will say they'll get like 1 or 2 actions on your way up, because like I said, fairly steep, fairly long way up. But we'll cut to that. We'll cut to that quickly for you, Desmond. As you are indeed looking around, you can tell ever so slightly that the house shifted like a degree, almost like the whole house is like tilted, like a degree or 2 to the left. Everything looks slightly cockeyed. Nothing's broken. They're
You went slanted or actually moved?
slanted.
Okay.
Like 2 degrees. So everything just looks a little funhousey. Just
That's
slight
not great.
bit. No, it's not great. Beside that, though, you know the house should hold up. Looking at the blueprints and the schematics and everything, it's a very well built home. So it should be fine. It just, well, it didn't look great before. Doesn't look great now. And as you're assessing this, Ogre, you sort of ready your lightning hook, and Kim, you're ready to soothe.
Yeah.
I would say, Ogre, it takes you a moment to pull out this lightning hook. Kim, since you were free after he did his summoning, I will let you do your thing first.
Can I treat it like a temperamental lost child?
Yeah. Okay. It says you gain potency when you use it this way. I'll define potency as the effect, and it is wild right now. So I would say normally it would be a limited effect. But because you have this, it'll be a standard effect. And because of where you are, I'll just say it's a risky position. So you're right in the middle. Risky standard. You're talking to it. So you can roll sway if you want.
Yes, I have more dice for that.
Yeah. You have the ability to speak with ghosts. It doesn't say you need to use any magical ability. So you're more than welcome to use sway. Excellent.
I don't know how to handle children. It's okay.
Right. So we'll go ahead and define it as such. Basically what happens is you do not receive harm, but instead the ghost turns to you. Speaking to it like a child was probably the wrong route to go. So while it is between the two of you, it's like raising one of its claws to lash out at Ogre, and whatever do you know what you say to it, Kim?
No.
Like, are you trying to soothe it? Like,
He is
it's
not
okay,
the
it's okay.
Messiah. He is a very naughty boy.
Yeah.
Like,
It's okay. We aren't here to hurt you. Just calm down.
okay. It doesn't like your tone, though. And as you kind of say this, something like clicks. You see its whole body like warble almost, and when it shakes, it almost looks like there's 3 to 4 of them occupying the same space. And it slowly turns to you, Kim. And this just seething, raging look in its eyes. It raises its claw now to strike at you. You see this, Ogre, as the ghost begins to move towards Kim. What do you do?
I'm gonna get my lightning hook out and then just try to like wrap it around its body and shove the rest of it in the bottle.
Does that have any associated skill with it, or what exactly does the lightning hook say?
A long 2-handed pole with a loop of heavy wire at the end connected to an electroplasmic capacitor suited for grappling a spear into a spear bottle. A custom-made hook collapses into a compact form, reducing its load to 1. It doesn't say anything about a skill.
Okay. So what do you want to roll for this?
I don't know what really makes sense for it.
Because technically, your approach is what matters. You could roll, realistically, Finesse sort of makes sense because you're dexterously trying to grab it. Wreck sort of makes sense because you're trying to aggressively get it. Savage Force, what Wreck would be. You're almost fighting it, so Skirmish also makes sense. A lot of those, Prowl makes no sense. He's right in front of you. So it very much knows you're there.
They're all pretty garbage for me, so I'll just go with Finesse because I think it makes the most sense.
Okay.
But what's the devil's bargain on this one?
I said you have 0 in Finesse. Okay. I will say the devil's bargain on this one. It is focused on Kim as of current. The mixed success result won't only be it turning away from Kim, but it will also be damaging you.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then for positioning, which is very important, it's not looking at you, so you're no longer desperate. I will say risky. In terms of effect, I'm actually going to say it is limited. This being is something beyond your comprehension.
Can I shove the charm in its face to make him a little? Well, I guess angry is probably bad.
Okay, I'll put it this way: the ghost is moving at you, Kim. Basically, so I understand the initiative, the order of things is a little weirder in this, but everything in Blaze in the Dark is literally happening. So basically, as it's moving at you, Kim, you technically have 2 options. If you choose to wait, and on your turn, you need to dive or duck or dip, dodge out of the way. One of those options. There are many Ds that you can choose. Just pick 1 D or pick 2. I don't care. But if you or 3, pick 3 Ds. I mean, Ds for everybody.
I want to dip, dodge, and dive.
Okay, excellent.
Sorry. It'll be dodge, dip, and then dive in that order.
In that order, exactly. So I'll put it this way. Mechanically, so I'll spell it out perfectly for you. The creature is moving to you, Kim. Let's say Ogre does his thing and it fails. We'll just say that happens. And let's say that the ghost is still looking at you. Because it's looking at you, if you choose to strike at the ghost, it's already coming at to hit you. So the complication would be it's going to damage you, of course. If you go to strike at it, if you go to distract it. If you instead say, I want to dive out of the way, I want to run, I want to flip, then I would just say it pursues you, right? So you could effectively, if you keep succeeding your rolls, flip and get out of its way. I'll just keep putting you in a worse and worse and worse position until eventually it just catches you, right? So basically you're just spamming dodge until one of your rolls ends up failing, or I'd say it has no effect here because you've cornered yourself, you know what I mean?
Oh, dear God.
Right. So,
there.
right, exactly. So that's the risk of rolling. But if you choose to I pull out my spirit charm, you can very much do that, but it's going to effectively negate your ability to move out of the way because you're instead choosing to meet this thing head on. So it's your choice. If you want to do that, you can assist him, and it will bring his limited effect up to his standard effect.
I'll dodge.
Okay, so that will happen after Ogre will get his turn first then. So you're rolling Finesse, correct, Ogre?
Yeah, and I'll just push myself instead of Devil's Bargain.
That works. There should be limited risky, I believe I said.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, no.
Not great. Not great. Okay. You basically attempt to wrangle it like a loose sheep, and as it's diving towards Kim, the ghost lashes out with one of its arms, and for a moment you're like, oh shit, and then you realize it's a third arm has kind of sprouted from one of its back. And no, it's not. And he grabs onto this wrangler that you have. It rips it from your hand and throws it across the room. Throws it well across the room. It was distracted for but a moment, but yes, it's now diving at you, Kim.
Dodge.
I assume that would be a finesse.
Oh, yes, it would.
Okay, you are very much in a desperate position. I would say the effect, so you're quite good at this. You are ready. You didn't put yourself in a weird position. I would say the effect is standard. No, yeah, the effect is standard, and the position is going to be desperate. Good thing you had that third die. The ghost dives at you, Kim, and as you begin to move backwards, you realize that the stone altar would have gotten in your way and prevented you from moving, but you see it just in time, and you're able to sort of do a flip over it. The ghost lashes down, and unlike before, when its claws just phased through you, this time the claws make a very, very obvious indentation in the stone, and he takes a huge chunk out of it, and you hear them just rake through. Its eyes look to you, Kim, and you notice that another eye has sort of sprouted out near its cheek. Its pupils split down the center. As it's still looking directly at you, sees blood. You see a fourth arm also burst out of its back, and rather than kind of floating up, more humanoid, it's moved down.
Oh dear God.
Like an insect, and it's crawling on all fours, scurrying at you quickly. What do the two of you do?
Hurry up, Ogre!
Can I use my compel ability to try to tell it to get in the bottle some more?
You very much.
Throw my thing across the room.
You very much can. Yes, it is sitting somewhere across the room. You very much can tell it, like, hey, piss off.
I'll just try to tell it to leave Kim alone and get in the bottle again.
we'll go and say it's standard risky.
Yeah, I'll push myself again. Why not? More stress, more traumas.
Who doesn't love stress? Just make sure you don't mess this bad boy up. Effectively, what's going to happen is, I said standard, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, unsurprising, obviously, he doesn't want to go in the bottle. He very much does not want to go in the bottle. As he is scurrying quickly towards Kim, you shout in defiance. You're just like yelling at to get back in the bottle and get away from Kim.
Pretty much.
All right. You scream this order at the ghost, and you just hear it howl, just like, just in multiple voices, just a cacophony of screams. And one of its arms actually ends up like twisting, and you can hear the fingers cracking, and it just gets torn off its back. This arm jettisons into the air, and you see this like trail of ichor just pouring off of it. The arm kind of lands behind it and twitches, and this strange like ectoplasmic essence begins to flow out of the arm and then into the bottle. You can tell that you've definitely damaged it, but you'll have, of course, a little more to go, and it's not entirely sure who to focus on now. Kim did a very beautiful flip over it, but Ogre, you're the one damaging it, so it's now turned to you. Desmond, I say you're about halfway back down to join them, and as you are descending, you hear a scream that echoes up through the hall. The two of you in the room, this is loud enough to make you cover your ears.
I mean, now I'm just waiting for Ogre to do his thing, right?
You just want me to keep telling it to get in the bottle?
Is there anything else I can do to help?
Have you done anything else?
I mean, you can try to use the spirit hook. He threw it across the room.
Yeah, so,
Oh, yeah, I'll grab it and try that.
all right, you're gonna dive for the spirit hook and try to like whomp him with it?
Yeah.
All right, do you have a spirit hook on you? Have you ever used it before?
No.
All right, someone sounds untrained. All
I
right.
mean,
You watched me use it like once.
it's definitely going to be desperate.
Okay. Considering he's focusing on the two of you, I'm actually going to say it's a risky limited.
All right. What am I rolling for that?
You tell me. It's an item that you need to use on him. How are you approaching him with it? Are you just like screaming and running to whack him? Or are you trying to be like dexterous with it? What are you doing?
I mean, a little bit of both.
A little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe trying to scream at him just a little, but also trying to not, I mean, like dodge, dip, dive, whack.
Okay, cool. Which side do you want to roll for that then?
Can I do finesse?
Yeah, sure.
Whack isn't a D.
Dwack. Sorry, she
Whack.
misspoke. Yeah, she's whacking him.
Can I push myself for this?
Of course you can. Ooh, spicy, spicy, spicy. All right, this is limited effect, so it's only going to add 1 chip. Basically, every time you use this this spirit wrangler, you guys are basically stripping away like ghost essence from him, and I think you can just like plop it in the bottle effectively, because that was indeed your command. Yeah.
So we have to whap it 5 more times?
So, you guys haven't really fought anything before because you guys don't really fight. Basically, the better your effect, the more pips you get. So limited effect is 1, standard effect is 2, great effect is 3, and then I think extreme effect is 5. But extreme effect is very, very hard to get, obviously. So depending on the effect of your action, that's how many ticks you get. Anyway, you perfectly succeed in this. So what's it look like, Kim, with your spirit wrangler?
I dodge an arm, dodge a leg, and whack him on the bonk. The head.
Okay.
Bonk him on the head.
Whack him on the bonk.
Yeah.
All right, you whip out your bonker, and we'll say
Doesn't sound like him though.
you strip off some of his like shadow mask basically, and under it you can see what seems to be like a twisted, gnarled human face. Once again, the skin is like this dark bluish purple mixture. It's a mixture between like blues and purples and blacks. He just looks not necessarily bruised necessarily, but that's what your mind like snaps and first goes to. He just looks like a giant bruise. Looks incredibly painful. And you can see on his cheek, the area that you stripped the shadow off of, an eye has opened up, and it is about twice as large as a normal human eye and does not look human. After she does this, Ogre, the beast is looking towards Kim now, and where he threw this thing was in the back corner of the room, so he kind of has you cornered now. Yeah, so yes, you are indeed in a desperate position. Ogre, what do you do?
I'm just gonna keep screaming at him to get in the bottle until he's all the way in the bottle.
Okay.
Can I use my ghost voice again?
Very much so. Are you trying to assist Ogre, or are you
Yeah.
just waiting for your next action?
I want to assist.
Okay, so you're doing a setup action, basically?
Sure.
Go ahead and roll that. So setup action is basically perform a setup action, so do what your roll is. Anyone who follows through on the setup will get +1 effect or an improved position for that roll. I'd say you're in a pretty not great position, but I would say go ahead and risky standard is fine because you pulled your last move off so well.
Oh no.
Excellent. All right. Well, considering the creature is directly in front of you, he's going to harm you. After you strip some of his face off, he just like roars, and it feels like all of his rage is directed at you, Kim. You're just forced to cover your ears again. And when you pull your hands away, Ogre, you can see that some blood is actually leaking from her ear. Go ahead and take a level 2 harm. Yeah, if you want to resist it, you're more than welcome to do so. I'll say after Ogre's action, Desmond, you'll be in the room. If you choose to resist this, you have to basically roll either Insight, Prowess, or Resolve. I will say with this, it would be Resolve. And you're going to take 6 stress minus whatever you roll.
Sure.
Okay, you take 1 stress. That's it.
Okay.
And you take a level 1 harm. So your eardrums aren't shattered or anything, but I'll just say ears bleeding. So she attempted to sort of get in the way and help set you up, Ogre, but unfortunately she was not able to do so. I'll say because it's focused on her, you're not desperate right now. We'll still say risky, but we'll go with limited effect.
Well, away we go. I can't really push myself anymore.
All right, excellent. Just straight up, your command clearly affects it, and one of its hands is kind of just, you can just see it just snap at the wrist as like this, it looks like bone, like actual bone, just breaks free and kind of shatters, like flings across the room, and its hand just completely just like falls off and just flop, flop, flop on the floor. The fingers do not shrink back to their original size. The hand is just sitting there kind of twitching and twitching and twitching. And you can see more of the ichor just pouring out of its wrist. You can definitely tell you have indeed weakened it. And by this point, Desmond, you've reached the bottom of the stairs. You can sort of see through this tiny little porthole in the door, this very large creature. It's when it chooses to like rise itself up, its back is almost touching the ceiling. It's seemingly growing in size, and this room is not big enough really to contain it.
We're gonna die before we get this ghost in the bottle.
You're halfway.
Ghost voice again.
All right. Are you? What are you saying to it this time?
Get in the bottle.
Get in the mother effing bottle.
Okay, so you're just telling it to get in the bottle?
I'm just screaming now.
You're just screaming at it to get in the bottle. Okay. We will say with.
I can't help you with that, is the issue.
Unfortunately.
Devil's bargain.
You still have the hook. You can try to do that again if you want.
I mean, I guess I'll use the hook this time and assist her.
Oh god, you.
Yeah, she's
If you want to yank it out of my hand, go right ahead.
Yeah, you if you want, you can toss it to Desmond as he walks in the room.
Sure.
I will assist her by trying to hook the thing as she tells it to. Get in the bottle.
You're going to shout at it to get in the bottle, Kim.
Get in the bottle, Shinji.
Pretty much. Desmond, we'll say you bursting in, the ghost kind of and like turns to you, seeing a new figure has entered the room, and you have this thing, so its attention is split between the three of you. So you'll get 1 stress, Desmond, and then Kim, you'll add 1 die to this because Desmond's kind of distracting it with basically, just his general entrance and his very square and powerful presence. So you shouting, I will say, is standard effect and just risky position.
Can I raise the effect with the devil's bargain?
Let me double check. I thought Devil's Bargain only gives you more dice. I forgot. You can trade position for effect. So your risky standard, you could be desperate great if you wanted.
Sure.
And then
I'm gonna get a trauma from this.
no, I mean just don't resist.
That's fine. I can protect for you. It's fine.
Yeah. So I'll say because it's distracted, you have standard effect, risky position. You are really making yourself known. You've been shouting him the entire time, and you're really pushing it now. So we will push you up to great effect with desperate position. So for that stat, go ahead and mark experience. And do you want the Devil's Bargain?
Sure, devil's bargain.
We'll say if you get a mixed success or failure, he's going to shatter your spirit charm.
I'll take it.
Not the spirit charm.
It's not really helping me anyway.
Critical success. That's 2 6s.
All right, Hub, come
He
on. Give me
dies.
something good.
You did
Someone
it!
else
I'm
finally
pretty
got
sure
one.
that's 5, right?
You did it! Okay, so you were on great effect. Did you mark experience?
On sway, yes.
Okay, cool. So, like I said, standard effect, 2. Great effect, 3. Extreme effect, I believe it's 5. It doesn't even say it, but it just gives you more. So you do it with increased effect. So.
Get in the mother effing bottle! He obeys.
All right. You you just scream at this thing, Kim. For a moment, you like lock eyes with it, I'd say. How are you saying this to him? Just are you angry? Are you saying it in a demanding way? How are you doing this?
I'm pissed. It's an angry order.
Okay, so you're more just like pissed that he's not listening.
Yes, I angrily order him, like I'm the queen of England.
As you say this with such force, Kim, you lock eyes with this being. It's grown a fourth one, by the way, but you're able to like fully
Fourth eye.
You got this shit. No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
You don't look away for a second. You're good. As you lock eyes with this being, the way that you instruct him and just drop this order, your voice echoes throughout this room. And I would say it gives pause to anyone nearby. You say this with utmost authority. And for a brief moment, you can see past this creature's eyes. The rage, the anger fades for a moment. And you see, for a split second, you see fear. You see the fear of a child being reprimanded by his mother. You see the fear of someone who's angered of being more powerful than them. So your bluff, whatever you did for just a split moment, works just long enough that you guys see it just beginning to get pulled. All of this essence around its body is just being pulled back into the bottle and just screaming out in pain. You can see the flames are actually trying to like stick to its body. It is trying its absolute hardest to not get in the bottle. And you can see its flesh is starting to be like peeled back as it's trying its absolute best. It's trying so hard. It's struggling and grunting. And you can see more of its face, just a mixture between various animals and devils and demons from long gone era. It's horrifying to look at. Its ribs are just piercing through its stomach as it pushes back and pulls back. Ogre and Desmond, you guys can do something to help it in the bottle if you wish.
He deserves it.
I'm just slapping it with the rod, I guess.
Okay.
Just slapping it.
I don't know how to use this thing.
Sure, yeah. Desmond, you're kind of like whacking it, and you can see like the electroplasmic just discharge like whenever you smack it, and you are like helping get it into the bottle. Ogre, what do you do? As you see, we have full effect and we have control of it. How do we finish up the situation?
I just go in with my hands and try and push him in the bottle.
All right. And with that, the three of you have effectively sealed this being in the bottle. But you realize, while it is indeed sealed in the bottle, its body was left behind.
Dear God.
The bruised, torn up, pained body.
Is this like a physical body?
It's a physical.
Like it was like was inhabiting it like a zombie?
It looks like a physical body, yeah. And it is, like I said, far too long. Everything is too long. Its forearms are about twice as long as they should be. Its legs are like twice as long as they should be. The feet are far too big. It doesn't have toes like a human does. They're more like claws. Same with its hands. Everything about it just looks distended and gross.
Is it still alive?
No, it's sitting on the ground. Its hand, you actually noticed, Ogre, was slowly crawling towards you, but it kind of like it just gave up like 2 feet away from your leg. You kick it and just bounced off the wall. Makes a nice fleshy sound.
Question.
Answer.
In Duskfall, is these kind of experiments the kinds of things that they just let happen?
No, this is not okay.
So the Veils are dead, but can we report it anyway? Because maybe he was working with someone?
Yes, who do you report it to is the question, but yeah.
Report it for, like,
I mean,
a
I'm pretty
reward
sure
for
they have
someone.
been reported, and this is why it was kept quiet.
Yeah, true, probably.
They probably wanted all the research here destroyed. Desmond just gonna say, well,
Oh,
it
we
wasn't
can
so
look.
hard.
I will say this. Can we set the
Shut up,
house
thick
on
boy.
fire?
First, let's check the other room.
Yeah, and we get what we came for, and then maybe like grab some of their research books or whatever.
Okay.
Actually, honestly,
with
those books I would probably give them to our cohort. Our doctor, see if she can learn anything from it as well.
Oh, yeah.
You take a step forward, and you actually notice that the door in front of you is slightly swung open already.
The door is ajar.
The door is actually ajar. And the jar in Ogre's hand is a door.
A portal to a different world.
Oh my god. You know, I could actually play off that pun and it can be interesting. Whatever.
Looks like I need more finesse.
Maybe a little bit.
I forget.
Fortunately-
I rolled
Yep.
something else last time. I just don't remember what it was.
I think so, but finesse makes the most sense.
The thorn.
I'm trying to think how else you would physically use something, and I think finesse is the most spot on. That or rack or something. Basically, the question is, are you coming at it silently, or are you screaming and whomping? So anyway, yeah, the door in front of you guys is partially open, and it was not open before. You think in all the riffraff and the screaming caused it to kind of like and just slide open.
I'll walk inside with my lantern.
Alrighty. As you walk inside with your lantern, there are indeed no lights in here, so smart. You are greeted with a very, very small room. There are two things. Immediately in front of you is a small altar, like a stand. It sort of looks like somewhere where you would deposit like a walking cane, but a full-sized cane that would come up to about your shoulder. And just beyond that, you see what could maybe pass as a bed, but it is just torn up. And in the stand is indeed a singular metal staff. It's adorned with a purple gem.
Exactly what we came here for.
Most likely, yes. So is it just a cane and a bed? Empty room for rest?
Yeah, completely empty. It looks like there maybe was something here once, but...
Now Desmond is wondering if whoever the hell lived here experimented on himself.
Looking around the room, you can tell that it's a major disarray. As you kind of put your lantern against the walls, you see large gouges have been taken out of the stone.
All right, so grab the cane, grab the books, and burn the house down?
I mean, I guess make sure the cane isn't watered or something.
Oh, yeah, that too. Oh, no, wait, I'm reckless. I just grab it.
Okay, you just grab it. When you do, Kim...
You die.
You die. Your eyes melt out of your skull. Jesus. Oh my god, that was loud. All right, she scared me. Anyway, your eyes don't do that. You're fine. They're beautiful. But you do grow a third one. No one knows where it is, though.
Okay.
I won't tell if you won't tell.
Not even Kim.
Not even Kim. Not for now.
Her boyfriend will know.
Exactly.
Yeah, he'll know first.
As you pick it up, Kim, it almost hums with power in your hand. And for a moment, you hear a whispering. Something speaking to you. Roll me a tune.
Oh, dear God.
That's one. Here we go.
I'll just say risky standard. Okay.
You die after all.
I get possessed, right?
You
Yeah,
get
what's
3 more
happening?
eyes.
You're not possessed, but something speaks to you. Something deep down. You feel as if you don't want to resist. It's speaking truths to you. Something that just feels right. Something in your head clicks. And as you look at your two allies, maybe they're kind of looking around the room, looking at the scratch marks on the wall, looking at the bed. Something seems off about them. You're not entirely sure what it is. And for 2 seconds, Kim, I'm going to drag you into the sneak room, and then we'll pop back. You were literally behind me, so I could just say it out loud, I guess.
You could, yes.
I could, yes. So you're not going to be damaged from this. Instead,
I'm going to damage my companions.
yes, you're going to choose. So what's going to happen is while you guys are picking up the books, something inside the staff is basically telling you, Ogre or Desmond, they're imperfect. And you could fix them. Fortunately, you have the tool on hand, a very sharp tool. So you may stab and try to fix either of them. You choose. When we're digging through the books, just let me know when you do it, basically.
Decisions.
If you want to roll a die, you can do that.
I might.
Okay. We'll hop back in the other room and then do it when you want to do it.
Okay.
Okay, we're back.
Desmond and Ogre have decided to shoot Kim.
We're killing Kim.
Come on, guys, let's go.
Nope, I'm shooting you
No.
with the
no.
ghost.
I mean, Desmond is paranoid. He does not like the idea that you picked up something without protection, so he's definitely going to ask you if you're alright.
So she picks this up and she kind of looks over it for a second, and then however you want to answer, Kim.
Yeah, I'm fine. Come on, don't be silly. There's nothing wrong with this.
Ogre, check her out.
Actually, I'm paranoid, so I'm probably just making sure the ghost isn't getting out of the bottle this whole time.
Fair. It's fighting. It does not want to be in there. You actually realize you're going to have to keep a good eye on this thing. It is incredibly powerful, and it's not a ghost.
It's several ghosts.
Yeah.
I hate
I
you.
noticed that. Regardless,
I gotta turn him into fuel real quick.
I am going to, you know what? I'm going to use my spirit charm and clasp it around the rod itself.
I pull the rod away.
You do realize, Kim, maybe initially you weren't sure what he was going to do, but him putting the spirit charm on it should be fine, and that should be smart. It'll, if there's anything wrong with it, it'll seal it away, definitely. So it's fine.
Okay. You may do what you're doing.
I do it regardless.
And besides that, you guys do, as you mentioned before, who wants to carry these books? You don't need to grab all of them, of course. To be clear, there's maybe like 6 that are super important.
Yeah, I'll probably carry
mean,
those.
Yeah, I'm keeping the ghosts in the bottle.
Are you grabbing any of the books, Ogre?
No. I'm
You're
focused
focusing
on
on the
keeping
bottle.
keeping
Okay.
them in the bottle.
Okay.
As many of the interesting looking books as I can.
Sure. Kim, are you grabbing any of the books?
Yes, I'll grab some books.
Okay. And while Ogre is watching over his ghost, and Desmond's, doing this, you guys realize it's definitely dead. The ghost is pushed away. Ogre keeping a good eye on it. Very smart. The body, you guys notice, has not moved. It is 100% dead.
We should still burn the house down, but
We should definitely still burn the house down.
Do you want to do it right now, or do you want to do it later?
I mean, I'm going to start going upstairs and getting ready to set it on fire before we leave.
We come upstairs, it's already on fire.
Oh, no.
I want to start the fire in this room because that abomination needs to be destroyed.
I mean, I'm assuming the entire house burning around it and all the rubble falling on it, it'll be destroyed either way.
Yeah, but it might just get buried because it's so far down.
You know, even better, you guys can start a fire down here, and I'll make one upstairs. Double the burn.
Sounds good.
Just make sure to give us like a minute.
I know.
I'm about to say, yeah.
I am getting ready to start a fire up top. I'm not starting it instantly while they're down there.
Okay.
Sure.
But I'm also watching the ghost.
How common are lanterns? Are these things like we just have 15 of them or something?
So in general, to kind of go back on the things we said before, anytime you guys have, not all the items, but most items, you have backups. You can only just carry one on you. So you guys have extra disposable income. So for example, the sleeping powder, that is 1 permission basically, unless you have a special item that says you can use more than 1, but it is only 1 permission, so 1 per score. When you go back home, you have enough sleeping powder that realistically you have another one. It's just kind of, suspend disbelief. You can only carry so much on you.
No, in that case, I'll just sprinkle some of the lantern oil around the room and just throw it against the wall and walk away.
Okay.
Up the stairs slowly before I burn.
Okay. And while Desmond is lighting the fire, Kim, do you do anything?
I will help push Desmond up the stairs a little faster. And while I'm pushing, I will pull out one of my knives and attempt to stab him in the back.
Okay, Desmond. As she's attempting to stab you.
So let me tell you about this thing I have, right? It's called special armor.
Yeah.
It completely avoids all harm.
Okay.
For once.
Okay.
And I don't trust Kim because she's been acting weird ever since she picked up the staff.
Okay.
So it does nothing.
Alrighty. That is
I'm wearing body armor. I have one of the books or something. I don't know.
Cool. Well, which one is that?
You stab a book.
Is that the Mastermind?
One of the books. Yeah, Mastermind.
Nice. Can this also protect you? It says
Actually,
protect a
I'm not
teammate
sure.
or push yourself.
Am I not my own teammate? I'm not sure, honestly.
No, I believe Mastermind is to buff allies, specifically.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah. So I believe
You
this.
get shanked.
I believe this would be specifically for allies because that does definitely fit into what a spider is, helping everybody else around you. So you can push yourself free. Looks like.
Sure. I guess I get stabbed in the back.
Okay.
You're imperfect. I can fix you.
All right. You hear Kim draw a blade, and you go to quickly react. I will say you are indeed in a desperate position, and I'll say standard effect, and you can choose to roll whatever you want. And of course, you can burn that to push yourself for free to get another dice. Also, which stat are you using to avoid this?
Haha, finesse.
Okay, that makes sense.
Finesse in the
Despite the fact that I'm in a cramped hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you are being paranoid, so you are somewhat aware that Kim's being weird. So I'll say, despite it being cramped, you're somewhat prepared for this.
And let's just say that when I hear it, I stop and try to kick her back or something down the stairs.
Okay.
Then we leave Kim in the burning building.
What? No.
No. Her boyfriend wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And what's the devil's bargain?
You die.
That is a great question.
I mean, I might die regardless, so that's fine.
I will say, because this position sucks so much for you, Desmond, this really is awful. Specifically because it's you. This general, your surroundings suck. This is horrible. So I will say the devil's bargain isn't going to be something you pay. It's something that Kim pays, basically. If you fully succeed on this, she will take 2 harm rolling down the stairs.
Worth it.
Otherwise, she'll just take 1 harm if it's a mixed success, and she'll just be knocked back a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
So, Kim, since this is partial, I would just say you already have, a 1, so we'll just add 1 more. We'll just say he kind of he like knocks you back effectively, and we'll just say bruised. It's nothing too bad, but you kind of slam against the side wall. Desmond, unfortunately, she does get that dagger in, like right into your back or right into your side, and it sinks relatively deep. And when you push her back, it kind of cuts the side as well. So obviously you're not disemboweled or anything, but this is a 3 harm. If you want to resist it, you definitely can.
3 harm?
Okay.
Husband, how long is this gonna last on me?
No,
I'm
you're
definitely
good.
being backstabbed.
You're taking a 1 harm. He's taking a 3 harm.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
how long is this gonna last on me? Do I have to keep trying to kill him?
Well, we'll see
Oh dear God.
in a second. So yeah, go ahead and roll
Do I roll to resist again?
prowess.
Prowess, right?
Yeah, and it's automatic knockdown to 2 no matter what you succeed in. Nice! Oh my god, you rolled 1 die and got a 6?
She hit one of my fat flaps. It's fine.
Oh my god.
It doesn't hurt that much.
All right, so rather than it being like fully pushed in, you realize that you're able to like angle yourself just properly, Desmond, so that it still cuts. This shit hurts. She cuts along the side of your back, basically, and you're bleeding. It hurts. Kim, you kind of like you bounce off the side. There's not really much room. You almost slip because it's kind of wet down here, and your foot kind of and you like hit your head on the staff and then also the wall. You feel a little beaten and bruised as you kind of dropped one of your daggers, like clink, 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 and just falls down the steps. And you're looking up at Desmond, and for a moment you have clarity.
Just for a moment?
Just for a moment. You can do one of 2 things. You can toss the staff behind you if you wish, completely just get rid of it, or you can attempt to roll again to basically shut this thing the hell up. And if you do roll, I will say, because you have a moment of clarity, I'll just say it's a risky position with great effect, and
I can also protect you. Like, when can I actually use protect? Can I always use it, basically?
do you mean the item or something else?
Like my special armor, basically.
Okay, so Mastermind does say you can protect a teammate. I will say you can give her a die for free if you want to burn that.
Sure.
And what are you doing to, like, you're basically shielding her mind, and you're protecting, not physically protecting her, but how are you reaching out to her to assist her? You can see she's troubled.
I mean, I'm definitely basically grabbing her so she doesn't fall backwards down the stairs.
Okay.
And in my most soothing, calming Desmond voice, I'll just tell her to drop the staff.
Okay, Kim. With this, you can just add a die for free. No push, no doubles bargain. You're just getting 1 extra die.
I'm pushing for 3 days.
Okay, go for it. I will. Okay. You do not need to let go of the staff. This moment of clarity spans outward, and your mind snaps back to the here and back to the now. Desmond is perfect just the way he is. Bleeding, but he's fine.
Gasp. Holy shit, Desmond, I'm so sorry. There's something wrong with the staff.
I get that.
Can we just get out of here so I can stop touching it, please?
Yes, hold on to it from the spirit charm.
Oh, good idea. I guess I'll press the spirit charm against it.
You actually sort of realize as you're holding it that physically touching the staff, like the metal, makes you feel sick.
Can I rip off, I don't know, an edge
I mean,
of my shirt or
would
something?
the spirit charm, if she holds it around the staff and then holds onto that, be enough insulation?
Is the spirit charm big? I kind of thought it was small.
I'm imagining
I thought
like
it
the
was
size
like
of like a card.
Talisman, basically.
Yeah, I'm imagining like the size of like 2 cards back to back. Top,
Oh,
top,
then
bottom.
then that should be enough to wrap around it.
Sure. I mean, you have one on you too, right?
Yeah.
So we can say with both spirit charms, you can actually wrap both of them like around, and you can hold onto the spirit charm itself, so you're touching that and not the metal. And when you do this, Kim, your mind feels clear. There's burning behind you. You can inhale. You're starting to inhale the smoke. Actually, it's starting to get pretty rough. Actually, and it's time to go.
Are we all right now?
Yes.
Then let's start moving.
I guess I pick up any books if I drop them, and then really quickly just shove Desmond up the stairs.
All right, you guys just book it up the stairs, and when you ascend, Ogre, what are you doing?
While trying to hold the bottle shut, I'm gonna try to like find random stuff around the house to tinker some sort of like Molotov or something that can set fire.
Oh my
to the
god.
house.
Okay, yeah, sure. Roll tinker, I guess. I thought you were gonna burn things. Sure, make an explosion.
Well, I'm not going for an explode. I mean, a Molotov, I guess, kind of explodes.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
It's a firebomb.
Yeah.
You know.
Alrighty, cool. Maybe you're a little too... I'll say your mind is split ever so slightly. Gotta keep the ghost away. Gotta burn this place down. Gotta keep this ghost in the hole. Gotta make this building a hole in the ground, right?
Yep.
Maybe you put it together a little too quickly, and it doesn't exactly go off the way we want it to. It works, but maybe you forgot for a split moment, oh shit, my allies are down there, aren't they? And we start the fire.
Wow, shit.
We start the fire just a little too early. Desmond and Kim, as you guys ascend, you realize that he's already just barely started the fire on this floor.
That's fine. I'm just gonna run out.
You should book it at the front door.
Yep.
Away.
Okay.
Knife still sticking from his shoulder.
The three of you leave this building as a smoke is just pluming out of the windows and out of the open door now. And looking back, it may be raining just a little bit, but it's not enough to stop this fire. It's barely sprinkling right now. If anything, the rain is letting up.
Slightly apologetic that we're destroying this house.
Nah.
But mission succeeded nonetheless.
I'll ask Ogre to pull the knife from my back, and then I'll take off my coat and use it to like swaddle the staff so we don't accidentally touch it.
I'll just yank it out as fast as I can.
Doesn't even ask how it's there, why it's there, what happened.
Knives belong in places sometimes.
We'll say you guys meet up with Richter back at the smoke shop. He's actually somewhat late, by about 20 or so minutes.
Wow.
You already have a table reserved for the three of you. By the time Richter gets back, he looks a little beaten up. You can see that he has a fresh wound on his face. There's a cut. It's covered in some sort of gauze or whatever he had on him. He just kind of flops himself down to the table, and he just his usual motion of like, alcohol, please, quickly. And they come over and once again drinks for all. He looks real tired, and it kind of and looks at the three of you. You can see that you don't look much better.
What exactly happened to you, Richter? I know what's wrong with us.
Usual job hazards.
Okay.
Nothing I'm not used to. Now, how about you guys? I see the three of you are intact.
Mostly.
The ghost is in a bottle.
His eyes widen at that. I assume we got the artifact. Where'd you find it?
Would you be holding on to it, Desmond?
It's basically leaning against the table, I guess, at this point.
He kind of leans over and looks and says, shit, the staff, isn't it?
Yeah.
I knew it. Where'd you find it?
There's also some books, but I'm sure you aren't interested in those, honestly.
Some we might need to look at, but, well,
Yeah, it's mostly medical.
yeah, I'd say the lady's more interested in books than we are, but would there be anything in there that would maybe naturally cross our paths?
How much do you know about demon anatomy?
Not much, but I can say it pays well.
Apparently this guy had an interest in that.
That's problematic.
From the looks of it, he either turned himself or some other in a, what would you call it, a conglomerate of souls. It was not nice to look at.
There's something wrong with the staff. As soon as I touched it, it kind of took over my mind and wanted me to fix anything imperfect, which is what the doctor wanted to do. I don't suppose his soul is trapped in there, or a part of it, is it?
He nods while looking to you and thinks to himself for a moment. Takes a swig of the drinks that have been brought to your guys' table. And he kind of like clicks his tongue a bit and goes, huh. Well, it'll be something we're looking at, I can tell you that much. If his soul is somehow trapped in that staff, that would be especially problematic, especially if it turned you that easily, Kim.
Yes, I do not advise touching it with your bare hands.
Oh, we won't. We're fairly cautious when it comes to artifacts such as these.
I think someone skilled in ghost manipulation could probably handle it, but I still wouldn't leave it to chance.
He smiles at that and says, oh, don't you worry, we'll definitely take care of it. I will put it this way, though, the lady does wish to look at all the various items that you procured. This is up to you. Sort of under the table. I guess a little bonus in our jobs. If there are any of those books in particular you want to hold on to, I'd recommend holding on to them. Most likely, she'll probably take them into her own personal library. She'll pay you for them, of course, but it's entirely up to you.
We'll see, I guess.
He exhales pretty loudly, just like, whew. So, well, I'm glad to see the three of you are in, well, fairly good health. Looks like one of y'all are maybe leaking on the table, but, you know.
Who, me?
Well, could have been worse.
Oh, or Desmond. Wait, at least a couple of us could be leaking.
Yeah,
It's definitely Desmond.
I was the only one that was actually attacked.
Very true. My ears have stopped bleeding, right?
it was temporary, yeah.
Okay.
Permanent tinnitus.
Your ear is definitely ringing a little bit, though. Kind of one of those you occasionally think someone's like maybe talking to you or whispering, like, yeah, what? Shit, nothing, okay. Very unpleasant. It will go away with time, though. Other than that, he just lets you guys know that you can bring all of the items to the lady and you will receive your full payment. But it's entirely up to you guys. You can choose to hold on to a book or two. You can give them all to her. Like I said, she will pay more.
I mean,
I
I guess I
say-
could show them to our cohort and ask if she has any interest in them.
Yeah, because I'd say our cohort's probably only going to be interested in any of the advanced books, assuming there are.
Yeah,
any
I mean,
advanced ones
specifically
there.
probably the ones that aren't about demons and ghosts, but more so about more information about the human body specifically.
Yeah, when you do show these books to her, she seems borderline offended at the other ones. Not the fact that you presented them, just like, ew, why would anyone do this? She doesn't do demons. Not at all. Or ghosts or any of that shit. She's not interested. Only interested in humanity and, well, humanity. So after kind of doing a quick flip through the books, I did mention before they are fairly damaged, primarily because the dude was a loon and kind of like ripped through them. So realistically, you are free to give them all to the lady if you wish. Now, the demon ones will be useful, but not for her. Like, there's information in there that's definitely spicy, but she does not want anything to do with it.
Yeah, sure. Then we just sell them, I guess.
Get as much money as we can. Would Richter be interested in a bottle full of ghosts
Coalesced ghosts.
for fuel? Because I kind of want to just get rid of it. I don't want it to be our problem right now.
Before Richter leaves, he actually does mention that this conglomerate of ghosts you have, Ogre, no offense, but you shouldn't have that on you. If you want to give it to him, he would highly recommend it unless you know what you're doing. And if you do not know what you're doing, please dispose of it at your earliest convenience.
I want to get some money for it if he'll pay for it.
Yeah, he'll if you just outright give it to him, he'll give you 2 coin for it.
Sure.
That's a lot of coin for some ghosts.
2 coin just for some ghosts in a bottle, sure.
He likes you. And he will be entirely blunt, it's more than you think it is. Not worth more money, but like this is dangerous. But like dangerous is fun, so yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
figured. I just don't want to deal with it.
Very much so. The look he gives you is like, how the hell did you even do this?
You know, you just tell it to get in the bottle a few times and it eventually just gets in the bottle.
Yeah.
All right. He doesn't hope you're being serious, but just kind of laughs and takes it. And then
Even though we're being serious.
Little does he know.
go ahead and add 2 coin to your standard stash. Not your stash, sorry, your pocket. You clean up a little bit before you go to meet with Lady Pendrin.
I would hope so.
Yeah, just a wee bit.
I would at least get bandaged, I guess.
Yeah, of course. And when the 3 of you arrive, she very happily greets you all. So, I heard the job went swimmingly.
Sure.
Nothing left of the place now.
Sure.
She raises an eyebrow and says, I heard. Did you need to burn the place down?
Yes.
Trust me, it was for the best.
Yeah, it was for the best. There were some unscrupulous things down there that are better left burned.
Leaning forward in her desk, may I ask what those things are?
Experiments.
I'll show her or pull out the books. I'm sure you'll find out once you read these.
A weird demon corpse thing.
Oh. And then to that, Ogre, oh? Quickly flips through the books and raises both of her eyebrows like, oh, you guys weren't kidding. Weird demon shit. Okay, excellent. Kind of opening like a side cover. She puts all the books down there after wrapping them in something because they're a little dirty. And Desmond, you're holding onto the staff?
No. I'll unclothe it and show it to her and make sure she knows not to ever touch it. Don't even fucking glance at it,
Okay.
preferably.
She fully trusts you guys. He nods and says, but of course, you are indeed the professionals. I'll handle it with the utmost of care. Richter is actually going to send someone down to, well, I guess he can look at these books as well. But we're all going to collectively look over this. If we find anything that's worrying, we'll definitely let the 3 of you know.
Well, there's plenty of worrying things in that book.
From what I saw, yes. Is there anything else?
Payment?
Of course. I gotta say, she turns around and kind of goes to one of the shelves and kind of digging around a bit. She finds your guys' pay. And kind of like,
I guess we could tell her that if she really is interested in what's down there, she might be able to dig something up, but there's not much left, probably.
As you mentioned that, she turns and says, well, considering you burn the place down to the ground, it will be a little more difficult. Hopefully it's not
Well,
too interesting.
assuming the place was built half underground, it might have survived for a bit.
All the same. And she effectively places a small chest in front of you all. I've decided to make it worth your while. I won't be paying you in pure, raw coin, as it might be a little weighty on your way out. Don't want you getting robbed on the way home. So I decided to include various jewels. which you can sell if you wish. You may keep them, entirely up to you. But in total, that should be equal to 8 coin worth of pay.
Jesus.
I assume we find this reasonable?
Yes.
Yes.
She smiles and gives you all a nod. Most excellent. Well, me and mine have much work to get done now, so if that is all.
Yes. Good working with you.
Yeah.
Excellent. Have a wonderful day, and please rest up.
Will do.
All right, she nods again, and the 3 of you are escorted out of their base. You all can head back to yours at the docks. All right, so we got the
All the
cash,
money we need.
if you will. Yes, as we have indeed finished this, we'll start with rep. We get 2 plus 1 per rep higher than you guys, so that'll be plus 1. You guys have turf, so we don't need to worry about those shenanigans. That last one's already filled, so we'll add 1, and then we'll add 1 more. It was an extra complicated job. This will bring us up to a weak hold and tier 2.
We did it.
We did it, everybody. I do believe there is a little
Took
extra.
a lot of money.
It did take a lot of money. So I will completely vacate the coins and the vault, as it does indeed cost 16. But, so the important thing is, when your guys' gang gets bigger, when our crew grows, naturally this money is going to making it larger. So now we have more standard gangs. So it's something we can, like, call on for roleplay reasons, but your actual gang of rovers have more of a mechanical function. Your train, your money is going into making this train better and bigger. So like I said, as your guys' tier goes up, the train will naturally grow larger. That's basically what the money is going into. And then we'll go ahead and do the rest of the payoff. So heat, you burned a building down. So we'll say 3 heat. Let's just be honest. No one died, technically.
Okay.
Actual heat. The building got real hot.
Thank you.
Heat.
Literal heat. All right. And then with that, we'll roll quickly on the engagement table. Boop. You guys get to choose. So, am I getting this? Are we getting the same one over and over? I think we are. We got gang
More
trouble.
interrogation.
Yeah. We got gang trouble, and we got the usual suspects. The usual suspects is make a fortune roll to basically see how much more heat you gain, or pay 1 coin. And then gang trouble is one of your cohorts. Basically, you lose rep equal to your tier plus 1, or face reprisals from the wrong party. So basically, gain heat.
Can you lose negative rep?
Yes, you go down a tier.
Well, let's not do that.
So not
Let's-
doing that one.
Please, let's not do that.
Let's
let's
just do
see.
the heat one, I guess. It's the easy one.
Yes, you guys would go down. That'd be horrible. Let's not do that. All right, let's gain some heat. So we'll do a fortune roll. All right, the blue coats grab someone in the periphery of your crew. 1 player volunteers a friend or vice purveyor as the person most likely to be taken. Make a fortune roll to find out if they resist questioning, or pay with 1 coin. So 1 player volunteers a friend or vice purveyor as the person most likely to be taken. Who do y'all think would get questioned here?
I'll just pay a coin
Do
and
we
pay him
have a
off,
coin?
because I have the 2 extra from selling the ghost in a bottle, so I'll just
I
use
guess.
that.
Let's see, who are we sparing this potential beating of, Ogre? I'll use specifically because you're paying them off, yeah. A friend or
me.
something. You?
Me?
Okay,
Please
sure.
don't hurt me.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we'll say maybe you're like roaming the streets and they just happen to kind of pick you up, unfortunately. That
They
definitely
ask you
works.
where their friends went that you put in a bottle.
Oh no.
So, downtime activities. Each of you get 2. Desmond has the floating one, and I think that wasn't 6 towers. I believe
You
if
get
it's your
another
hunting
extra one.
ground, you get 1 more, yes.
So we all
Is it
get.
just 1 more for anyone, or does everyone get 3 then, and Desmond has another one? I
I
forget.
believe you all get 1 more.
Thank
Okay.
God. I'm about to get another trauma.
Yeah, same.
Yes.
Oh, you're closer than I am by 2.
Now, here's the issue.
Uh-huh.
I can't help you de-stress. I only have 2 stress.
It's fine.
If I roll anything over a 4, I'm basically screwed.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
You're fine. I mean, if we all have 3, then we'll be good. I apparently need to train my prowess.
Yes, I have been training that a whole lot. How do we roll stress again?
So you want to go ahead and reduce that bad boy?
Oh, absolutely.
Indulge vice. Specify how you indulge, and then roll your weakest attribute rating in the thrall of that vice. You clear stress equal to the result. Oh, I totally forgot about this. If you ignore your vice, if you do not indulge vice in downtime, you take stress equal to your trauma. Desmond, you actually gain 1.
He can take
Nice.
1.
He can take 1. Yeah, he can take 1. He's fine.
He's fine.
If anyone's going to take it, Desmond
Fine.
can. Like, realistically, he's good at it.
I mean, I have 4
you just gotta
downtime,
eat
so
more.
I can do a lot.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
I mean, I'm definitely doing one healing action at least.
So this is to reduce, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I reduce by 5 or 1?
I believe so, yes. Roll your weakest attribute rating, and then clear stress equal to the result. Your worst rating is 2? Nice. Smart. Okay, yes, you reduce 5 stress then. Ogre, you're gonna reduce stress as well?
Yes.
I would have
Either-
been 7 stress without me.
Either prowess or resolve.
Hey, it's all gone.
Thank God it's exactly 6. That could have been spicy.
It's too risky for me to do it again. I only have 3 now.
Yes.
Definitely too risky. And then for healing, guess what, guys? You're tier 2 now, so that means your healer
Hey, more healing.
is tier 3. So, Mr. Desmond, we'll roll, and you heal 5 ticks. So basically you fill in 4, and then you get 1 overflow. And then sliced back will go down to stitched back.
I'm sorry, Desmond.
You're not
Great.
sorry, don't lie.
We'll talk about this later.
All right. Hey, check that out. All right, so you heal 4, and then add 2 more, and all of your harm is magically gone, Kim Possible. Congratulations, TikTok.
She'll never get over the fact that she backstabbed me, though. She'll have to live with
Never.
that forever.
And then for my third one, I want to train my abilities.
Okay, you're going to train ability. Ooh, does that mean you get a new skill, or
Yeah, I get a new skill.
spicy?
It is 2 for 1 train, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Excellent.
Question.
Potential answer.
I just grabbed the skill.
Okay.
At the end of each downtime phase, you earn +2 stash. So I grabbed it during downtime. So the downtime is over. Can I gain 2 to my stash?
Right now you gain 2 stash, correct? How's the stack work in this game? Well, you see, spell resolves first, and then the creature's ability. But then you countered the... No, but my creature has flash.
You die.
Can I also spend a coin to do my long-term project?
Yes, you can.
Do you have a coin? Or what you do?
I had a.
She has 1 coin on her.
I had a coin.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I roll the downtime
Oh,
project?
actually, yeah, you can spend a coin to do another downtime, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
I
you...
mean- I have 1 more left that I can give to either of you.
That is true. So, to find Orlin, you need to basically roll your stat, and you've been choosing Sway, which makes a lot of sense. I like that. So you roll Sway, and depending on how well you do, you fill in that many ticks. So partial success means you fill in 2 segments. 1, 2.
Ogre's also gonna get a bonus for helping, I think, in this one, right?
Correct. So, Ogre, do you want to work on your Ghost Shield?
Well, now after that last encounter, I feel like I need to work on my finesse.
You can also do that. However you want. You have 2 more, correct, that you can do?
Yeah, and then I think I'm probably going to pay a coin to do another.
Okay. I will say, if you work on the Ghost Shield, Richter, we'll say he gave you some information so that whatever result you get, I'm going to upgrade it by 1. So if you get a 4-5, which would only be 2 segments, it'll automatically upgrade to 3 segments. If you get a 6, which is normally 3 segments, I'll upgrade it to a crit, which is 5 segments.
Well, I will, I'll work on the shield once.
Okay.
And see how that goes.
Sure.
That's a
Hey,
6 then.
That's 5
then
segments.
it's done.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Perfect. Alrighty. So, effectively, we'll say it is fully upgraded, but of course it needs to be tested and such. So realistically, you do, it's not just a Ghost Shield. It is a minor untested Ghost Shield for the 3 of you. It's going to be something you need to put on you. So it's obviously going to weigh something.
We can give the test version to the scavengers, right? So they can test it for us.
Yes, technically. I'm going to add it as an item. Just call it Ghost Shield, and I'll detail it a little bit later. I'm going to add it in here. It's going to cost 1 of these. Logic effects, all that nonsense doesn't matter too much. So I'll just keep it over here. For now, when we want to use it, we can add it as an item.
So with my strange methods ability, can I do anything extra to that?
Strange methods. When you invent or craft a creation with arcane features, you can take +1 result to the level of your roll. You begin with 1 arcane design already known. I like that.
What the hell does that mean, though?
I don't know. I
So-
took it because it was crafting and I'm good at that and it's magic. So
Yeah, crafting is very weird in this game. There is a whole section for crafting. If you want to look over that, we can kind of discuss it later because there's a lot of... remember how Monster of the Week worked where things had tags?
yeah.
So if you want to look through the crafting section, I don't know if there's one on the cheat sheet. There might be. There should be. Yeah. There's inventing, learning designs, crafting, modifying, then drawbacks. This is a really quick rundown on it. Obviously, it's a couple pages in the actual book. And essentially, we can maybe add like 1 upside, 1 downside to it while we're messing with it. and then we'll just be a little more lenient on how well the first run is. How's that sound?
Yeah.
The drawbacks are complex, conspicuous, consumable, rare, unreliable, or volatile. I'm thinking it'll be something closer to volatile and whatnot. Like, it's not going to explode and kill you, obviously, but maybe it'll zap you or something, or maybe it'll freak out at the absolute worst time when it's the most dramatic and the most fun.
Oh no.
So your last action, did you want to use it on your prowess?
Yeah, and we get 2 for that, right?
Correct. You get
With
2
one
for every
of our
upgrade.
things?
Let me do some math real quick to find out how many experience I'm probably gonna get from this score.
Do you want to do that first? We are at the end of the session. Do you want to do that first?
Sure.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that first. We'll actually start with you, Desmond. That makes it a little bit easier. So, general notes. We will mark experience and then double mark experience if we did it more than once. So, challenge with calculation and conspiracy.
Yes.
Wasn't really a lot of it though.
I would say 1 yes at least. Also, mapping out the house and kind of being overly anal with that, I would say that was basically calculation.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, so I'll say 1 there. I love it. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background? Did you, Desmond?
I mean, I guess.
Okay, we'll say 1 there.
Not overly at least, but
Not overly, but at least a little bit. And did you struggle with your vice?
at least once, maybe twice.
At least once. So we'll say total 4. And then Little Miss Kim, deception or influence. Did you try to deceive people?
I mean, you stabbed your friend in the back.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Is there a second yes in there? I'm not sure.
I'd say just 1, probably, yeah. And did you express beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Background, my interest in books.
Okay.
You were also looking for your portrait.
My portrait too, yes.
Indeed. And did you struggle with your vice or trauma?
Yes.
Trauma, yes. It's what made me touch the staff.
Very much so. Would we say 2 or just 1? No, yeah, twice, because you were stupid with the ghost, too.
Yes.
You could have backed down and you didn't. You, like, instantly lashed out.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. When I said, do you dodge or do you scream? You decided to scream. That was very foolish, but it
Very
paid
reckless.
off. But yeah, very reckless. So add 5. And then Ogre. Gee, I wonder, did you challenge with knowledge or arcane power?
Many times.
Yeah, many times. Okay. Did you Ogre, though?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And did you struggle
He
with
always
paranoia? Did you struggle with your paranoia or your hauntedness? Okay, so also add 5. So after you add that, y'all can choose what to upgrade from there. And then let me see if there's anything else. I don't believe so.
I'm putting it all in ability.
Hell yeah.
And then I'm going to train ability twice. I can do that, right?
You can literally just spam 1 if you want.
That gives me another ability, I guess.
Hell yeah.
And then I still have my
Train
floater
ability.
left. So fight for the floater. Give me a reason. Who wants it?
I mean, I could use it to level up my finesse again. Besides that,
Sure.
that's about it.
Give it to Finesser over there.
Finesse ogre.
Finesse. And I'm also... Can I use that and spend my coin? Or can I only do 1?
You can do both.
Mine is just a free giveaway.
It is free.
I know, but I need the extra 1 to level up. Again.
Definitely, yeah. If you spend 1 coin, you'll get 2 points in prowess, which will leave you that 1 full and then 1 left over. You guys got tons of bonuses and such. And then the actual Twilight Triad is going to get some experience. So at the end of each session, mark experience for things that you did. Did we do a thing? Yes, we did. Did we contend with challenges above our current station? Yes, we did. Did we bolster our crew's reputation or develop a new one? Yes, we did. Did we express goals, drives, inner conflicts, or the essential nature of the crew?
Definitely some inner conflicts there.
I think we
Yes.
did. All right. Crew experience, that means on top of increasing our rep today and going up 1 tier, we also leveled the crew.
Ooh.
Yet again.
Yet again.
Speaking of coin, we forgot one thing.
Yes.
Our egg roll.
Egg roll.
Not the egg roll.
All right, we'll treat the egg roll the same way we treat fear roll with fortune, and we'll treat it the same way with what columns, the little pips. So we have rolled a 2. We're going to add it basically like a time, like one of these timers. I'll just make it that, and then I'll rename it to eggs.
The egg timer.
Yeah, basically an egg timer. There you go.
Egg.
Egg.
Reduce it to 6 total, and then maybe whenever we fill this up, we just get extra money. So rather than this being 1 egg, it's like
Every time we get a half dozen egg.
yeah, effectively. So this isn't necessarily 1 egg. This is like 1 batch of eggs, and whenever we fill this whole thing up, maybe there can be a payout. And every time you guys finish a mission, we'll just keep doing fortune rolls. And it's not a downtime activity. It's just how many eggs we have. So we'll do it that way. And I don't think I rolled last time, so let me roll again. Okay.
Double egg.
Well, 2 eggs, or two batches of eggs. When you fill your crew's experience tracker, clear the marks, and take a new special ability or 2 crew upgrade boxes. When you level, you get something else. Every time the crew advances a level, which we just did, each PC gets +1 stash, +2 per tier. Since we did both at the same time, we get 1 stash, +2, +2. Each of you add 5 stash.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I was looking for. All right. So
Now I can retire poor.
Yay!
Same.
Then you can also take 1 special ability or 2 crew upgrade boxes.
When do we get access to veteran though? Actually, is it normally after you have every other special ability?
Veteran allows you to pull from other groups, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can do that whenever.
It's got a 2 next to it.
Yeah,
Would
so
we
you
need
can-
to like wait?
You can
next
take
time,
it
or-
2 times, I believe is what it means.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's... yeah, I think that means you can take it
I
twice.
gotta look at everything else then.
That's, yeah. It's the same thing with your characters. You can technically take from any sheet, which is why it's like, oh god, you have to look at every skill in the game.
There's Ghost Market.
Okay, so I'll say real quick, because we're not playing this super long term, if you guys want to take, since we did go from tier 1 to tier 2, if you guys want to take one of the turf upgrades, you're more than welcome to, and we can just have it for free. Except it won't be dropped somewhere random to expand your turf. You can just kind of have it. So it's going to either be in the docks or it's going to be in 6 towers.
They gift us the burnt down house, the ground.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
And we build a gambling den on it.
Oh god, that's
Build a
spicy.
gambling den on it.
Okay, sure. Then we can indeed say you guys have a gambling den now. Click. There it is. All right. So tier roll minus heat equals coin in downtime.
Do we get to use that right now as well?
Why not?
I mean, we'd get
well,
not a whole lot.
We have to roll
What
first.
is
So
it?
Yeah, you have to
How does
roll
that even work though? What is a tier roll?
we're tier 2. So that means we roll 2.
2 die.
There you go. Yep. Exactly, Ogre. So you roll 2 d6s, then we take that result, and then we subtract heat from it, and that's how much coin we're going to gain to the group. So we'll roll that, and I got a 5. So 5 minus 3 is 2. So 2 coins.
Nice.
2 free coin.
2 free
In
coins.
that
Yeah.
case, I'm gonna do my best to keep our heat down.
Very smart. That is actually really cool. I like
In
that.
which case, it might be useful. No.
I mean, I think if we go for upgrades, we definitely need the vault upgrade.
We did a
Yeah.
list
So
somewhere of all
Vault
these things, right?
The list is in the book if you want to look at it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, but which one?
The main book.
Yes.
Yeah, the primary book has everything.
I would say Vault 2 and some sort of training upgrade.
Training Resolve would be good for you guys. That'd be really good for you, Ogre, because if you get zapped by a ghost, you have to roll Resolve.
Yeah,
And your host, because all you have is a tune.
because I never really used the other ones. Is that what we want, though? Vault 2 and training resolve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, look at that vault, though.
Deck Vault, though.
Oh, it's so big.
And then once we get close to upgrading, well, I guess the next rep upgrade, we can always get a patron.
Yes.
Exactly, because by that point, you guys will actually need them. You'll have so much
Yeah.
extra money.
16 coins inside.
Anywhoots, we will go ahead and pause there, and we'll bring up more... Oh no, my eggs reset! Wait, why'd they both reset?
Not the eggs.
Oh god, my heart. We lost Orlin for like just a moment.
Wow.
We also lost my eggs for a moment.
Not the eggs.
Alright, no, don't worry. The eggs are here. It's okay. Got the eggs. Okay, eggs. I didn't mean it. I apologize. Alright, the eggs are pet. We're good. Anyways, we'll go ahead and pause there and meet up again next week for more thieving, ghosting, chicken training shenanigans.